I just realized I forgot my headset. Give me 1 second. Why am I doing this? Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry. One moment. I forgot my headset. Where's my headset? Why am I playing this game without my headset? I don't know. Got my headset, guys. I thought I got everything set up, but no, I forgot my headset. That is atrocious. Give me a second to turn this thing on. I can hear. I can hear now. That's embarrassing. But nevertheless. Hello everyone, and this is Morgan Team C, bringing you Doki-Doki Literature Club Plus. So yes, we are actually to the point now. This is the 3rd day on playing this game, the plus side, the side stories. We've gotten to the point now where we've actually gone through 4 of the 6 stories. So we're now going to be finishing off with reflection, self-love, and I even got out of my way for a little special treat just to wrap things up. Because I love this game. Let's be absolutely honest, it's terrifying, it's traumatic. This game will scar you for life. But yeah, I do love this game. This game is actually brilliant. With its writing, with its schemes, everything. But, nevertheless, I think it's time that we get a move along and see where exactly reflection lies. So I begin the side story now. Fuck yourselves in. And here we go. Am I bothering you? No? Okay, just checking. It's hard to tell since you always look so into it when you're reading. It makes me scared to interrupt. Well, it's within my expectations to be interrupted when I read here. It's mainly when I'm by myself that I don't like it. That makes sense. I guess if you're here in the first place, then you're more ready to socialize, even if it takes a little bit of prodding. It's not so bad to be social if I let others do the work, so it can be healthy to put myself in a social environment every now and then. It's mostly difficult when I don't know anyone, or there are too many people, or everyone is being too silly for me to keep up with. Okay, I can actually relate to that. If there's a bit of too much of a crowd, I tend to be away from it because, like, yeah, too many people, I don't want to interact with this. I don't have that type of energy. So yeah, I totally vibing with her at the moment. I do get that. Yuri glances across the room at Sayori and Natsuki. Sayori has her head cocked back and her mouth open, trying to catch pieces of a cookie that Natsuki is lobbing into the air. But the pieces keep bouncing off her face and hitting the floor. That's kind of cute. Maybe I should say something. No need. I just found out a cookie. What a waste. They've really become good friends, haven't they? I'm happy. Sayori seems particularly good at making that happen. But the two of them are both on the energetic side, so I suppose it works out well. Yeah, come to think of it, you and I haven't had many chances to talk one-on-one, have we? Though, that may be partially my fault, since I'm supposed to be the one engaging club members. Not at all. I'm probably formed the habit of drawing minimal attention to myself. The responsibility is equally on me, at least to display some openness to engage. Well, what about during times like lunch? Do you meet up with friends? I don't think she has friends. I just read. Yeah, I thought so. Her friends are books. Let's put it plain and simple. Her friends are books. Oh. But I like it that way. Feels nice to be carried off again after a morning of classes. Do you always read fantasy? Oh, not always. I suppose it's all I've read recently, but only because I'm in the middle of this series. There's still 2 more books after this one. I guess those long books suit you well, since you spend so much time reading. Well, fantasy may be my favorite, but after that, I'm more or less indiscriminate to genres. I read anything with depth and maturity. So I'm guessing that rules out manga and anime, because I do like manga and anime, not gonna lie. Do like my fantasy, but I like my anime. a manga. Oh yeah, even like romance? Well, there are a lot of books that have elements of romance in them. Oh, come on, Yuri, you know what I mean. Are we on the same page here? Are we talking about a certain genre that is forbidden to be talked about? Monica lowers her voice. It's a guilty pleasure of mine, so I won't tell anyone if you do, too. She's contemplating it. Maybe more when I was in middle school? I mean, I was really lonely, and people were mean to me a lot. So it kind of felt like... Please don't make me think about the past. Sorry, I just got super curious. You know, we should totally pick out a romance novel to read. That would be so much fun. Absolutely not. Really? Even if it was just between us? Try asking someone who has no shame, like Natsuki. Ouch. I don't know, it really does seem like I say this a lot, but Yuri and Natsuki are like two peas in a pod. Are like on complete opposite ends, but they're exactly the same. Sorry. I swear I didn't mean that. Well, I guess it was my fault for pressing you. I'm like that for things in my past too. You know, things I feel too embarrassed to re-experience. There's nothing wrong with going out of things. It happens to everyone, and that it does. For instance, Natsuki's interest in manga reminds me quite a bit of how intense I used to be about my own interests. Yeah, you're very stuck on Natsuki and her interests. I'm just kind of noticing that. It makes me think that she'll likely grow out of it too. No. Definitely no. Hey, what are you talking about? Oh, I've forgotten her voice. Give me a second. Hey, what you talking about me? No, we were just talking about how our interests have changed over the years. When did you get into manga, Natsuki? Like a couple years ago, I guess. I was already sort of into it before that, but I wasn't really going hard until then. Oh yeah? What was it that inspired you to get into it more? I don't know. I guess... Let me think. It was after I discovered a series that I really liked. Yeah, I was just like really fed up with a lot of things, and I got super into this one series that I really related to. I guess I had an edgy phase where I just hated everyone around me and I wanted to be myself. Hey, kind of like Yuri. Yes, it sounds like 2 peas in a pod, guys. 2 peas in a pod. I just kind of realized that is not disappearing. Oh no, I just disappeared the game. My bad, guys. There we go, back again. Monica? Sorry. That's completely wrong. So, it's still cool that you both really found your thing. They're almost like opposites, but it sounds like they helped you a lot through hard times. You know it. Wow, what the heck? Is that book even bigger than the last one you were reading? It's technically slightly longer, but not by very much. How high do you think it would go if you stack up the whole series? You know, it's funny how she mentions that, but you can stack a whole bunch of manga booklets. Just like, they can get very high very quickly, very fast. Natsuki estimates by holding her hand high above her head, sizing up our imaginary stack. I should get one of those mangas that like 50 volumes long so that I can say I've read more than you. That actually does sound pretty true, actually, when you think about it, even though it's all Pictionaries. But yeah, I see your point. Not that I have the money for that. Oh, we don't. None of us have the money for that. Well, actually, some of us do. Like, they're very lucky in that regard. But like, I don't have the money for that. Please, that would hardly count when your books only have a few words per page. I know, I was just joking. I could never actually read books like yours. It's too boring for me. I could comment on that, but I'm gonna move on. Yuri shot a glare at Natsuki. It's not boring. Chill, I said for me, not for you. I can have my opinion. I just think it's too convoluted. Convoluted. Sayori, are those from the floor? Is she eating off the floor? Oh, this sweet summer child. She's eating directly off the floor. Gross. I mean, it's a bit of a waste if I don't go for it, you know what I mean? No, you don't know what I mean, actually. If good food goes to waste, I'd be upset. As long as it's like dry food, yeah, maybe. But if it's like anything that's wet, like definitely not. You know, remember the 10-second rule, guys? Or is it 5 seconds? Or is it 3 seconds? I'm not entirely too sure. Well, there's a rule for that. The unwritten rule about eating etiquette off the floor. Let's leave it at that. Asa, wash your hands before touching any of my books. But my hands aren't dirty. Just do it. The eyes are there even if you can't see them. Fine. Sayori trots out the door and Natsuki follows. Yuri, you look a little upset. What kind of nerve does she have to call my hobby boring? I mean, it's like calling the kettle black. Or the pot calling the kettle black here. Like, moving on! Well, she did correct herself. Hardly. She was so condescending. Moving on! I don't mind if she thinks it's not for her. I already understand that it's not for everyone. But she knows well how much these mean to me. So how about just leaving me alone instead of needlessly telling me the things you hate about it? There's so many things I can unpack here. I'm sorry, Yuri. You may be right. This won't be the last time people have strong feelings about what they like and don't like. Especially in the literature club. So I should figure out how to mediate discussions to keep them positive and constructive. For the record, I've always been impressed by the level of creativity in your books, and also your ability to get through them so quickly. Actually, speaking of that, my brother goes through books alarmingly quick. How many pages does he read? Moving on. Thank you. Okay, well this is something that I'll have to think about and revisit. I'm sure I can help Natsuki find some common ground with you. Common ground isn't necessary. I just wish to be respected. And that then, either way, I'll do my best. I'm skeptical when it comes to Natsuki. I trust you, Monika, but I'm skeptical. Yeah, again, it just feels like you can clearly see the dividing lines here, opposite ends, and they're kind of rallying for their own team here. It's like, you know, when with Australia in the State of Origins, you have the Maroons and the Blues. You get the idea. We both rally. It's the same game, but it's like, yeah, you're not on my team, yeah. Okay, everyone. We have a special club meeting today. As you know, the Literature Club is a place where we get to share things that we're really passionate about. But that also means we should be mindful of how we respond to each other's feelings. I think we have a chance to turn our differences into positive energy for each other. Aren't you being a little dramatic about this? This is important to me. Well, sorry. I just feel like I'm being accused of something. No, I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I'm sorry if I come off that way. But our conversation yesterday made me reflect on the power of language, and I thought it would be a good topic for the literature club, don't you think? Monika steered through that very well done. I appreciate that. I'm sure we're going to have differences in opinions a lot, so I need to make sure we're prepared to keep a positive atmosphere in the club. If you say so. Sure. The cool thing about language is that it gives us a lot of different ways to express the same idea or emotion. We have a lot of control over how we want the other person to feel when receiving our thoughts. This goes for poetry, narratives, casual conversation, basically anything. For example, Sayori, what's your favorite food? I have them organized by category. Should I start with snacks? Or do you mean full meals? Should I include breakfast? Oh god. Oh, you are such a klutz. She is a bubbly ball of energy. And I love the fact that she eats a lot, actually. I kind of find that nice. I wouldn't go too far with it, but like it's definitely certainly nice. Oh jeez. Okay. How about your favorite fruit? Oh, that's easy. Cherries. Well, I think I did. No, you know, moving on. Really? I always thought cherries tasted nasty. What? Cherries are delicious. Whoa, that's a pretty strong reaction. Well, I just don't understand how somebody could think cherries are nasty. How does it make you feel? I don't know. Sad? Also, I'm just checking something real quick. Alright, fair enough. I'm not daydreaming. Okay, cool. I was just making sure. Defensive, maybe. Yeah, I got defensive. See? The reason you had such a strong reaction wasn't just because I don't like cherries. It's because you felt like your opinion was under attack. But that's weird, right? Something like taste is completely subjective. But when I say something like, I think cherries taste nasty, and I'm using objective language, I'm challenging Sayori's reality that cherries are delicious with my own, which is that cherries are nasty. Wait, hold on. How is that objective when you just said it was only your own opinion? It has to do with the way our brains interpret the words. You're talking about the reality of the cherries, not your feelings about them. Like Sayori, let's rewind for a second and pretend I didn't tell you that I think cherries are nasty. Okay, well I can put on the dumb switch. Hold on 1 second. Good. So, what if I, instead of that, I said like, I've tried cherries and they're not for me. It's not the kind of flavor I enjoy. Well, that's fine. As long as you don't call them nasty. Nasty is a nasty word, because it's so nasty. Yeah, it's the nastiest of nasty words, you know that? Nasty. Nah, gonna play a little bit there. Okay. So cherries was kind of a weird example, but I think it gets the point across. Yeah, the allergy works. This time around, instead of talking about the cherries, I just talked about my feelings, and Sayori didn't get defensive. So instead of clashing with each other, it's like we receive our invitation to talk about our differences. Yuri, you don't need to take notes. I'm not gonna quiz you or something. Typical Yuri. No, that's completely understandable on her behalf. She writes down everything. She takes notes about every little detail. I know that. I was just... Sorry, I didn't mean to call you out. You can do whatever you like. But does anyone have any thoughts so far? Yeah, I just feel like I shouldn't have to put my language through a filter just to protect someone's feelings. Well, you don't have to. The choice is yours on how you want to come across to other people. I'm only suggesting it as a tool to help turn your differences into a positive experience, rather than an argument. Okay, I'm gonna have a quick pause here. Let me have a quick pause here. I'm just kind of like... This is the literature club before all the craziness. Like, Monica is actually sounding like a very good, reasonable leader in this regard. Like, she actually is leading the club in a more positive direction. So Sayori, of course, is the people pleaser. She's the one that kind of breaks the ice with everything and able to smooth out any discrepancies. And then you have the other two. Natsuki is a bit of a she fires from the hip, and Yuri is self-indulgent in her own ways. She does love to listen though, so she does pay attention a lot. So yeah, this is the literature club. Monica, Sayori, Natsuki, and Yuri. Before things hit the roof. You know what I mean by... It's impressive. These are actually really just normal girls. Right. Sayori. Whatever you say, cherry hater. Oh, come on. Sayori, I actually like cherries. I was just saying that to help demonstrate. What the heck? I've been duped! She's so gullible. I love her naivety. I'm sorry, Sayori. I'll make it up to you later. How about a cherry sundae? You are welcome to dupe me anytime, my beloved president. She got off food, that's what happened here. She goes to whatever direction so long as food is involved. Buying your people's loyalty. How deplorable. Like you would turn down a free sundae, Yuri. You were certainly a fan of those cupcakes I bought in the other week. I was reading and not keeping track of them. Honestly, I reckon they would gel well together, Yuri and Natsuki, if given the time and effort. Oh, that's enough. We're getting off topic. So now that we have the gist of it, how about we try it with something more relevant to the club? Like manga, right? Let's try to have a productive discussion about our differences in opinion. Yuri, do you want to start? Well... I'd rather not. No. How come? Well, because... I don't see how anything productive can come from that. Ooh. Okay, talking about firing from the hip, she just blew out a shotgun. It's just going to start a fight. No, it will be fine. That's why I'm here to moderate. Let's just have a calm and rational discussion. Yeah, give me a little more credit. I'm not a child. You don't have to cut on my feelings. I always think it's more respectable to just speak your mind. Respectable? Yuri's expression changes at that word. As Monica recalls, being respected was the crux of the matter for Yuri. Well, the point of the exercise isn't exactly like... It's fine. I have nothing against anyone personally. You're entitled to enjoy whatever it is you like. I just prefer more depth and nuance in my reading material. I look for stories that are imaginative and sophisticated beyond the surface level. Oh, well that's just a misunderstanding then. I thought you were gonna say that manga's for children or something. Like I don't hear enough of that. But there's plenty of deep manga. I'm not clueless about manga. I've read my own fair share when I was younger. What? Are you serious? How come you never told me? Because I'm past that point in my life, and I really prefer not to revisit it. I prefer more mature things now. Excuse me? Okay. Hold on. Can I jump in here? Let's try to keep things subjective. Because if you imply the manga is immature, then aren't you implying that someone is immature for being into it? Again, I have played the original game of, Doki-Doki Literature Club. Who is this person? This person right here. This one right... Just out of my reach. I'm reaching for her, but you get it. Who is this person? She is way too reasonable. Where's your insanity? No, honestly, if you actually did play the game, you actually would find that Monica is definitely... Well, a sane person in an insane place. And there's Natsuki pouting. Yuri is silent. Well, maybe it's immature to judge people for having different tastes than you. Natsuki? Nobody's immature! I find Natsuki's manga and Yui's fantasies. But when you say fantasies, I'm thinking of entirely different things, and I love them both in their own way. Okay. It's great that you like it, but I still find it boring. Boring isn't subjective. Okay, it bores me. That's subjective. But, I mean, the thing about... This is ridiculous. Do you see why I didn't want to participate in this? I knew it was just going to make people upset. I'm not upset! Like I said, I don't care what other people think. Yeah, actually, I think she does. She gets a lot of it. Let's be absolutely honest. Natsuki gets a lot of discrepancies towards her, so she may have a little bit more thicker skin, but it still nudges at her. But I always got the impression that you secretly look down upon me, so I'm glad my suspicions were confirmed. That's not true at all. You're making assumptions. Well, actually, again, kettle calling, pot. You can't blame me for getting defensive when nobody ever has the least bit of respect for the things that I'm into. The only thing I look down upon is when people make fun of me for just being myself and trying to mind my own business. Oh yeah, that's right, that's the opposite spectrum as well. Ah, that's difficult. What? Have you looked in the mirror? Tell me again about respect after calling all of my interests immature. You can't. Please, stop! Please. You don't mean the things you're saying right now. Let's just be friends. Ah. Alright, where's the tissue paper? And yeah, it seems like they're both a bit embarrassed with their behavior once Sayoi stepped in. I didn't mean for this to happen. And that's one of the things about being a leader as well, is that sometimes your decisions aren't always the best. And you just have to roll with it. You just have to keep going forward with it. Nothing to feel bad about. Well, it did. So please don't invite yourself to try and solve other people's problems next time, okay? Oh, that's a stab in the dark there. Well, yeah. Yuri's piercing words send the clubroom into a choked silence as she gathers her things. She leaves. Holy crap. I never heard her sound like that before. She must be so pissed. Well, you weren't very nice either, so... I was just saying. How did this happen? It's my fault. Yui wasn't wrong. I shouldn't have tried to moderate a conflict when I know how bad I am at dealing with conflicts. It was a really stupid thing for me to do. It's nobody's fault. It wasn't stupid. Everyone in the club is a nice person. Nobody would have expected this. But I guess we're sensitive about the things we really love, like cherries. Oh, how I love my cherries. Honestly, she kind of brought it upon herself. Like I said, I don't care if you're not into manga, but if you actually look down on other people for it... actually, yeah, no, I kind of see where this is going. That's kind of the point I was trying to make in the first place. It's not about sugarcoating things. It's about just recognizing and understanding our differences. Okay, but here's the thing about that. Yuri actually looks down on me. It has nothing to do with our word choice, or anything like that. So I see what you were trying to do, but I really think the problem here is her. Not just like the way we talk to each other, right? I mean... Yuri isn't like that. She's a lot sweeter than you're giving her credit for. And I do agree with Soyo in this retrospect, because again, it seems like they're looking opposite ends of the field, guys. Opposite end of the fields. And let's just see it as the opposition. That's what it is. They both have their interests. It's just they can't seem to find that sort of compromise to close the gap, especially when they're so far apart. They're very much the same, these two. I'm sure she would be reflecting on this. I actually think everyone should. It'll be fine. I'll figure something out. Well, I'm just like saying that instinctively. I'm just setting myself up to cause more problems. This wasn't your fault, Monica. You don't have to beat yourself up over it. If you ask me, it's good that the truth finally came out. Because I can just move on now. But it's fine. I promise. Let's just get out of mind of this, okay? I'll get our mind off this. In fact, it's a good opportunity to read some manga without having to worry about feeding Yuri's superiority complex. Don't be mean. I'll talk or read manga or whatever you want, but don't be mean to my friends, okay? Sorry. I'm just bitter. Everything will be okay. I mean, I don't have the answers, but I at least know that we're all good people and don't want to hurt each other. This will be a learning experience. Monica says that, but her uneasiness is given away by how much she has to force the reassuring tone in her voice. This was bound to happen eventually. Natsuki and Yuri have always engaged with each other the least out of everyone, and this is the reason. As Sayori and Natsuki proceeds to distract themselves with manga, Monica sighs to herself, unable to shake her worried thoughts. Will the club really have to just come to terms with the fact that some members will be incompatible with each other? And that's like, I'll speak on that. Monica desperately doesn't want to admit that, and she knows Sayori doesn't either. But for once, a solution doesn't seem to be in sight. Oh, what? That's the story? Oh, wow. Jeez. Okay. Also, we got mail. Which, by the way, the reason that we... actually, no. Before we get to that. Yeah, it does seem like... It happens with everything. Relationships, friendships, club activities, club members, businesses, co-workers. You always gotta get to, at some point or another, that you guys will actually grind gears with one another. The whole reason for that is... Actually, give me one second. Just second good music here. That's not the music I'm going for. That's not the music I'm going for. Let's go with Peachy Pie. Oh. No, not that one. You know what? Let's go with this one. So yeah, as I was saying, you're always gonna have some point to another where you gotta have conflict with another person. That's a given. And that can be very minor, that can be very large. It's just the factor of life. It happens with every single relationship. So them having this kind of button head things, completely normal. It happens. You don't need to regulate it all too much, you just have to recognize it. Sometimes there is no way to really solve it, and in that case, it's probably, yes, perhaps it's better to move on. That's completely fine. That's a sound choice. So yes, even for me, even in my club as well, some I gravitate towards better than others. It's just how we are. We do this on a daily basis, so don't get discouraged on the fact that people may disagree with you. People may have conflicts with you. Not a big deal. Unless it is a big deal, which then that's a whole other kettle of fish. But yeah, you can move on. Don't worry too much about it. We can figure this out. And sometimes to figure that out is to get ahead of it. But yes, rewinding back. The mail. I actually got out of my way to kind of steer this. how should I put this? I went through the main storyline again, just so that we can actually go ahead and, well, leave a special treat for everyone in the back there. Because I want to finish this series off with something, I guess, amazing? Also, let's just go ahead and read this, because we got a lot of mail. And also, why is this... Wait, why is this going backwards? Let's go with this one. Okay, who's responsible for creating a Twitter account for Monica? I think it's hilarious, but for God's sake, don't tell Paula. We get 404 in a microsecond. Are you just relaying her tweets manually? Or did you code some kind of pass-through layer to automate it? Based on the contents of the tweet, example, not screaming for help, I assume they're coming from the control simulator. Oh, yeah, I remember the Twitter. Monica actually has her own Twitter account. Having run the control simulator for a while, it's evident that a certain character is missing from any mentions or appearance. This makes me speculate that Monica's mailing is less clumsy than we think, because she would have had to manufacture this character herself as a way of forcing interaction between her and the user. Could that be why the character has such a limited and dissonant personality traits? Or am I reading too much into this? I'll open an issue to start tracking info and observation on the anomaly of this character appearing. What character? And this one. Thank you to everyone who just worked so hard on the control simulation. I can imagine how tedious it must have been to do so. Delicately hide Monica's elevated permission from her without disrupting or connecting to the VM. Just to clarify, all the coins labeled side stories are part of the control simulation, right? I've noticed in some details of the characters' lives here and there that differ a little bit from those in VM1. What's VM1? Even trivial ones. Is it part of the butterfly effect? From some of Monica's more fundamental changes, or is it a result of her just messing around with the alpha characters in VM1 as her own experiment, or for fun? So if I'm keeping track, we have what, like 5 different universes in total, with 3 or 4 of them created and then destroyed by Monica? Of course! It's funny because I keep wanting to speculate on which one is the real universe, but in reality, they all are. As real as ours is anyways. It seems like they're kind of speculating about like everything that is actually going on. In like, wait, is this just like one big giant experiment? Is that what's happening here? Feels like it. Does feel like it. But hey, it is how it is. So yeah, that's just the developers talking about what's happening here and observation. Anyways, enough of that. I just wanted to read that out because I got curious about it. Now, part 2 of reflection. Here we go. Okay. Also, do you reckon these girls are gonna solve the issues or they're still gonna butt heads? I reckon, this is my opinion, without actually knowing anything yet of this side story, that they'll come to a common agreement. They're still gonna butt heads. That's a given. They will continue to butt heads. No lie on that. But, at least at the very least, there will be a minimal amount of respect to one another's genres. But let's see how they, well, get to that conclusion. A new day arrives. Sayori arrives at the club room earlier than usual. That is, not late. Fair enough. As she enters, it appears to be empty still. So she sits down at a desk and pulls out a sheet of paper, time to jot down her thoughts. Sayori has made a habit of scribbling her thoughts and feelings onto paper whenever possible, as it tends to serve as her best inspiration for poetry. My heart feels vacant because the ship sailed away. Yo. Ah! Tatsuki! Tatsuki pokes her head out from behind the closet door. Sorry, didn't mean to scare you. But it would have been a lot more awkward if I didn't say anything. I bet you want me listening in on your poetry thing. Actually, I would have done the eavesdropping, no doubt. Or like, snuck up right up behind and like, boom. Yeah. Thanks for realizing that. Should I let you finish that up then? Oh, no, it wasn't. I mean, I just do it whenever it's convenient. You're not interrupting. Where's Monica, by the way? Oh, she's out in the hallway? Huh. Why? Well, just in case she runs into Yuri. Sometimes Yuri's too nervous to come into the club room by herself, so... Oh... Jeez, does Yuri really let things bother her for that long? She can't control her feelings. For some people, it's really hard to cope when you get bad thoughts in your head. Maybe you can distract yourself for a little while, but as soon as it's just you and your thoughts again, it comes back. I just want us to have a normal club meeting. It's a lot easier to pretend like it never happened if we all just ignore it and move on. I don't want to be a bother by this. It's so stupid. Her opinion of me doesn't matter anyway. Besides, it makes me feel really guilty and I hate that too. It's okay to have feelings. It doesn't make you weak. Just giving it a long night to Sayori. Let's figure this out together. Fine. Only because you're good at this stuff. Let's try to come up with a happy scene. Maybe that will help us understand where your bad feelings are coming from. Well, I was happy the way things were. Before we had that conversation yesterday. What part of the conversation made you upset? Was it Yui being mean about the manga? Maybe. I doubt it though. I think it's more to the point that Natsuki does not like people perceiving her as immature. Because why? It's because everyone sees her as immature. Everyone has been saying that ever since she started going into the whole manga anime thing. Not really the best home standards either, but yeah, she just finds it particularly... She doesn't respond well when you look down upon her, let's put it that way. Because my friends and other people make fun of manga all the time. I just brush it off and ignore them. But something about it really got to me this time, and I hate that I'm letting that happen. Is it because it came from Yuri? No? Why would that matter? I mean... Well, maybe. I hate that she thinks she's so much better than me. Just because she likes to pretend to be all sophisticated. Okay. Now I see Natsuki not seeing Yuri's side of the argument. Like I said, opposite side of the field here, guys. Yeah, that's what it is. At least other people decide that they don't like me, or manga or whatever. But Yuri acts like she's too good to even give it a chance. I'm sorry. Everyone deserves a chance. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everyone deserves a chance, yeah. Would you give Yuri's book a chance? After this... Obviously not. Why do you not feel confident there? What about before this? Well... I would till I got bored, which wouldn't take very long. But if you actually keep an open mind, then it's not hard to realize that a story can be deep and meaningful without being needlessly complicated. I see. But you know, I like Yui's books. Yeah, but you like manga more, right? Sayori shakes her head. I like them both. I like them in different ways, but I like them both. I mean, the manga, it's really honest and fun and easy to just let go with. And the fantasy has a lot to interpret and uncover. It's really rewarding to have some good quiet time together with it. But the most important thing is that both the manga and the fantasy are true to themselves. So I love them both. I think there's room for both of them to be in the same club together. And I just feel like maybe they have more in common than you would think. That's right, feel bad, feel guilty, get the crushing guilt upon your shoulders. Yes, you realize that you are yourself were being disrespectful as well towards Yuri, as Yuri was to you. Yeah, realization, reflection, guys, reflection. How do you get along with everyone so well? I always get into fights with people. Like first it was with Monica when I was new to the club, then it was you, and now it's Yuri. And I'm always like, oh, that person is being such a jerk. They just realized that we could at least get along. But nobody else has this problem. I just keep running away from the reality that everybody's just a jerk to me because nobody likes me. Hey there. And I don't know why. And I don't know what to do about it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I think it's because she's like, again, she's completely honest, she fires from the hip. A little too, like, you know, there is something that is too honest. I hate it. Natsuki? Sayori puts a confident hand on Natsuki's shoulders. You're a wonderful person. You deserve to be loved as much as everyone else. Everyone has different ways that like to communicate, you know? And sometimes that makes it harder for us to understand each other. I think that sometimes we get lucky and we make friends who are really good at the same kind of communication. It feels like you magically connect with them. But other times, even if both people are really nice, it's easy for them to misunderstand each other or to get the communication wrong. It's something that Yui struggles a lot with too. It can be really hard. It takes a lot of like reflection and self-awareness and vulnerability. I'm bad at that one. Vulnerability. I always have to be the strongest. What do you mean? Tell me about that part of you. Well... Oh, hey Matthew. What's up? Yep. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, no worries. Yeah. Alright, no worries. Alright, all good. Night. That was my brother Matthew. He was just informing me about his, yeah, if I'm gonna wake him up earlier. Yeah. Laters. It sounds stupid, but I really used to people being mean to me. Like, my friends, and I guess my dad, like, when I don't get good grades, or even stupid things like if my room isn't clean. Actually, you should clean your room. What is this? It is Doki-Doki Literature Club. And also, hello Mr. Dark, it's been a long time, how you been, mate? It's lovely to see a familiar face. Unless, of course, you're talking about what just happened, which then... Yeah, that was my brother, and I was just talking to him about work. But outside of that, yeah, Doki-Doki Literature Club. It's a very unique game. A very unique light novel. Which, if you played the original game, yeah, it's gonna tear your heart out. But if you play in the side stories, it just gives you more understanding of what these girls are about. Good has been good, that's good to hear. I'm glad that you're doing well. Which, yeah, what have you been up to? Still work? I'm guessing that it's just like a routine of work, going home, doing your thing. That's what I'm guessing here. But nevertheless, what have you been up to? Which, again, great that you're doing good. So, what am I gonna do? Cry about it? If I let myself get upset, then it's just letting them win? I'm better than that. I'm better than all of them. So, things always have to be everyone else's fault. Okay, I can see the negativity on this kind of mindset. Like, it's a strong front. This one's actually a strong front, but it's a very hollow wall. I'll put it that way. Because like there's a problem, and she kind of just like tries to brush it off. It doesn't actually solve any problem whatsoever. And yeah, I thought so, Mr. Duck. And well, it is a routine thing. Well, there's nothing a lot to say on that. Like, tell me this: have you done anything in particular? Have you gone out to watch the movies? Have you gone on vacay? Anything in particular? If not, that's completely fine. I haven't been doing much myself, except for living day by day. Ah, Deadpool and Wolverine. No, I watched Deadpool and Wolverine myself. That was actually a lot of fun. I find the movie great. I know another person who didn't like the movie. I don't know why, but he didn't like it. So yep, that's his opinion. But you know, I had a lot of fun watching that movie. Especially all the fight scenes, the actions, the dance sequences, all the different things that you could actually see as well. Try not to say too much because I don't want to spoil anyone that actually watches this. But yeah, no, it was honestly great. The choreography was great. The intermingles of the characters were great. I really, really did enjoy Deadpool and Wolverine, especially how good Deadpool, a dog, and just the things that just happen around it. A lot of good humor, a lot of good actions that you don't often see, and a lot of call-outs too, which was great. Feels like if something goes wrong, and there's even a tiny hint that it might be my fault, then I just get really angry and find ways to blame everything else instead. Do you see yourself as better than Yuri? And here we go again, guys. Hot, kettle, black, 2 peas in a pot, guys. Exactly the same. It's just on opposite end of the field. If I said that, then I would just sound really full of myself. No! Our thoughts and our feelings are 2 different things. Even if we don't like our feelings, we have to understand them if we want to learn more about themselves. That's part of vulnerability, you know. Accepting that we have feelings that we don't like. I hate that. My feelings make me a bad person. Yeah, no, I can trust that. Which by the way, Doc, this is one of these type of games that have a lot of subjects, a lot of heavy subjects, and don't worry, I'll be talking a whole lot. So if this is not your jam, that's completely fine. It's all cool. Because my feelings just want to tell me that I'm so much better than her. She's a judgmental, know-it-all who's stuck in her edgy phase, and that I'm just way above that garbage. Yeah, they're exactly alike. But I'm terrible for feeling that way. You're not terrible. You are not your feelings. But you are not your feelings. Say that to yourself, out loud! So Yuri, the go-getter, the assertive one. Fine. I am not my feelings. The way that I like to picture it is that those feelings are like your roommate. You live in the same house, and you gotta see each other every day. And even if you can ignore each other most of the time, you gotta run into each other every now and then, and it's gonna make you feel like poop. So, the other option is to get to know each other. You can communicate and learn from each other, and maybe even help each other change for the better. Does that help you understand? How do you know so much about this stuff? That is where lies the question. How do you know so much about feelings? Well, as bubbly as Sayori is, she is a train wreck inside. No, seriously, you actually find out, like, when it comes to Sayori personally herself, she, yeah, a lot goes on in her head. She's not as bubbly as her exterior makes it out to be. I just have a roommate that can be really hard to get along with, called depression. Depression? Oh, I didn't actually think Sayori was gonna just like straight out say that. But you're like the happiest person I know. Good observation. Usually the happiest of people are usually also the saddest. which I wish that wasn't the case. I am not my feelings. Oh, that really put things in perspective, actually. Well, that honestly, that really drive that home. I want to be a good person like you. Ah, you little sweetheart. We're all good people. You and Yuri and Monica, and I think Yuri will eventually learn that about you too. Natsuki remains silent, feeling a little overwhelmed. Despite Sayori keeps reassurance, a complicated mixture of pain and sadness seems to fill her, as though flowing from a wound inside her. Was it a result of her vulnerability? No. It wasn't as though she was inflicted a wound after becoming vulnerable. It was as though she began to rediscover her old wound, one that cannot simply be bandaged and left alone any longer. Yeah, that's difficult. I will say that is difficult. Oh, vending machine. No, actually, wait, do we have any coffee in here? I think that's coffee. I don't want that. Does every school have a vending machine? Because I'm really looking forward to that coffee. I want that coffee. Yuri, what are you doing all the way over here? I was looking for you. She actually does seem pretty shocked and embarrassed. Please don't yell at me. Oh, I'm not going to yell at you. I just wanted to say that I'm sorry about what happened yesterday. It was unfair of me to put everyone on the spot like that. Next time, I won't just try to jump in and solve everyone's problem. I guess it's a bad habit of mine. You're not mad at me? I thought you were the one mad at me. I was so awful yesterday. Yuri curls up, recalling the details of the argument. I can't even have a normal conversation without saying something wrong and making everyone upset. Hold on, that's not what happened at all. Let's talk about this, okay? Yuri pauses for a second, then manages a nod. Monica takes a seat next to her on the staircase. I'm having a lot of negative thought patterns and I can't get away from them. What kinds of negative thought patterns? Like everyone hates me. Yeah, Natsuki thinks the exact same thing, surprisingly enough. Especially Natsuki. Ah, that's terrible. I don't think Natsuki hates you. How do you know? Well, because Monica thinks back to the time that she herself found herself in an altercation with Natsuki, and how a display of maturity from Monica was enough for Natsuki to reevaluate her own feelings as well. I think Natsuki is just naturally defensive. I think she acts mean when she feels the need to protect herself. But you know, she's really not a bad person. In fact, I think she can be really thoughtful and considerate. She's just... well, I guess the way it works is that she wants to receive some degree of kindness first, before she feels comfortable returning it. Why am I envisioning Natsuki as like, you know, one of them small wild animals that just huddles up into like the bush corners and just doesn't come out? You know, like one of them stray cats you find underneath the house, just covered in dirt and like I'm starting to picture her as like one of them tiny little kittens. Oh, but that means the burden is on me. Yeah, it kind of works that way, yes. Well, it's on both of yous. And I don't know how to say things that make people like me. Every time I open my mouth, I just... Yuri shakes her head at herself and tugs on her hair. It's okay, Yuri. You don't need to beat yourself up. I think anyone would like you if they had the chance to get to know you. Well, unfortunately, the opposite is true. Okay, now you really are being negative. That's why I'm not talkative anymore in the first place. And yes, no. Glad to see you still here, Mr. Dark. I hope you are enjoying yourself. But yes, do you have any plans for today? Do you want to divulge your secrets? Because everyone used to think I was weird and talk about me but behind my back. That's just what happens when I draw attention to myself. Natsuki even said she found it more respectable when people speak their mind. So I did, and then she hated me anyway. That was enough to confirm my fears. Okay, again, when it comes to this club here, there's so many misunderstandings on so many different levels. They can't just stack them upon one another. What to do with these girls? But, Sayori and I like you, and we've gotten to know you a lot by now, right? Yui doesn't seem to have a response. Oh, sorry, Yui doesn't seem to have a response. That was the talk. Hey, what do you think of Natsuki? I don't think about her. That's not what I meant, really. I just... I was just wondering if you had an opinion of her. I do? But what is it? And also, hello Dr. Riri, welcome in. Nice to see you once again. And what's this about revenge? Oh yes, hey, nice to see ya. How you been, mate? Natsuki seems to bring out the worst in me. And I feel really ashamed of it. I like to think of myself as a fairly sophisticated person. So for someone to just treat me like I'm inferior, despite my tastes. Again! Pot! Kettle! Peas and pots! Please! Recognize! Flirtness? I don't know about flirtness. But yes, you did what you need to do. And revenge? Why does everyone want to get revenge on me? I did nothing wrong. That's just the worst kind of insult coming from someone like her. And it makes me think bad things about her. But everyone else seems to like her, so... The only explanation is that it's me who's doing something wrong again. And my feelings about her are wrong. And I'm wrong to get upset over something so childish and inconsequential. No, Yuri, your feelings are never wrong. Well, they're a reflection of ourselves, so it's like, yeah, they're not wrong, but they can be over fine-tuned. Well, that's not right. That's the thing. Feelings are never right or wrong, you know? Okay, now that I'm something a bit more agreeing with. They're just states of being that we don't always have control over. But that doesn't mean they have to control us. We just want love also revenge because you're cute. I don't think I'm cute, but like I try to be like at least reasonable at best, but like me cute? Nah. Hate ourselves for feeling a certain way about things. Or we can, you know, just acknowledge that they exist and try to understand them better. I could never be mad at you for just feeling a certain way. I can relate to that, yeah. It's about how you handle them. And I think working through the feelings is a great opportunity for teamwork. Yuri wears a dejected expression. And I'm gonna continue denying I'm not cute. Oh wait, no, I'm denying that I'm cute. I'm not cute. Period. You can tell Bumba, you can tell C4, but don't be sad. Don't be sad. If anything, I'm sarcastic. I'm highly, highly sarcastic. Which I like! You make it sound so easy. You're so mature. And so good with people. I feel like such a child in comparison. Oh, Yuri, I'm far from perfect. But these are learned skills. They didn't come naturally to me either. It's really hard to like, reflect on yourself, and separate your feelings from your thoughts. No, actually, that's actually funny. That is actually true for me as well. Sometimes I actually get caught up in like knee-jerk reactions, especially when like you go on Twitter or something, you read something that you totally against, but then you have to like catch yourself, like, wait, hold on. If we look at this more, let dial it back and actually look at it properly. Like, yes, it's fine. You're allowed to feel the way you do. You can formulate your opinions, but yeah, do not let your feelings rule you. Because otherwise, you would get something like love leading you blindly. I'm kidding on that part though. Drawers on my IR notebook Mowgli is cute and kissing a pole. Why not a mirror? Why a pole? I just want to be a good person. Well, I think it takes a good person to get this far. That's not good enough. Also, another thing that I will mention as well. If you recognize your own mistakes, you're already making efforts towards doing things. Oh. Alright, hello? Hello? Okay. Okay, there we go. Ah! Alright. I think I gotta have to do something. That's the third time something has happened with my mic. I'm actually gonna have to do one of the radio techniques. Yeah, guys. So yeah, you missed a bit while I was saying I completely lost my train of thoughts now. But yeah, I'm gonna be actually doing an exercise later on where I'm gonna have my mic, like, you know how I'm talking into my mic right now? I'm gonna have it feed back into my headset, so I can actually tell when things go astray. Because I think that was chipping a lot. I don't know why. So double checking now. Yep, I can hear myself just cleanly. Unfortunately, it is so confusing having this feedback. But I will do that later, next stream. So yeah, that was strange. So yeah, I completely lost my train of thought. So unfortunately, that point has been moved on, and we're gonna go ahead. I want to be able to communicate it to her. Communicate what? How I feel. How it makes me feel frustrated and upset when she's so negative and dismissive of the things that mean so much to me. And how it... Yes? How it reminds me of me. Told ya! You guys are exactly the same. Paul, I am... Does that make me a pole? Do I door a pole? Is there a pole to be doored? Huh. Because I know what it's like to feel misunderstood and angry at everyone. I know that telling yourself you're better than everyone else is just a defense mechanism. We're just people. We're fragile and unstable. I like to think that I'm pretty sturdy. I like to think that I'm actually pretty sound-minded, but who knows? But I'm just tired of that getting in the way. I can't stand it when the piece is disturbed like this. Yeah, you can't focus on your reading when the piece is disturbed, right? Because the literature club should be happy for everyone. Monica looks at Yuri in adoration. I feel like Sayori must be rubbing off on me, because I really want to hug you now. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. And no, it's Dr. Lee, you take care of yourself, have a fun time drawing, and I guess I'm on a pole. Guys, I'm on a pole now. No, I mean, well, if you wanted to, then I wouldn't really mind, so... Monica pulls Yuri into a short embrace. You're so gentle, and I love when you communicate your feelings. I feel lucky to get to see that side of you. And I'm sure Natsuki will too. I'm going to write her a letter. Oh, a letter! What a great idea! Just because I'm not good at talking. Especially under pressure. Look, Mr. Doc, I'm just saying. I am upon a pole. That's all I'm gonna say, and I'm not giving any context to it whatsoever. Well, I think a letter would be wonderful. Such a nice way to communicate. Yuri's face hardens with determination. People don't naturally gravitate towards me like they do for you and Sayori. My personality just isn't suited for that. And I wouldn't want it to be. Okay, Mr. Duck. Bit of context. My chair is swiveling on a pole right now. Yes, it's a swivel chair. It sits on a pole. Therefore, I am upon a pole. I'm kidding. I'm just being a goofus. But something I've learned is that friendships don't always just magically appear out of thin air. For instance, I never would have seen myself making friends with someone like Sayori. We're opposites in a lot of ways. But I'm friends with her because she put so much effort into understanding me, so that we can get along. I think it was the same with you. You both gave me a lot of time and patience. And I wonder if she feels the same way. Natsuki? Yuri nods. I always thought that if I wanted to make more friends, I had to be somebody that I'm not. That there's a type of person, or a magical formula I have to follow in order to make someone like me. And that's just like me to think that, always so occupied with myself that I fail to understand other people. What? Okay, Dr. Ree, well, whatever you say, I'm not gonna argue. All it tells me that if I'm being a pole, I'm gonna whack someone. Yuri shakes her head. Friendship happens when you think about the other person. When you offer time and effort to understand them and respect them, and trust that they also want to be a good person. That's what I learned through my observation in the literature club. Observation? Monica is caught by surprise. Yuri has always kept to herself so much that it's so unusual to hear her suddenly talking about the club like this. But Yuri gently smiles to herself. You always let me listen to your thoughts about people. Sayori too. And it makes me happy because I learn a lot of things. That's so sweet. I had no idea it meant that much to you. Monica never thought much of it, but in the past weeks, Yuri always seemed to be especially attentive when it came to the problems and concerns of others. And no, it's Mr. Doug, it was lovely having you here. I hope you do have a wonderful time, have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you again sometime in the future, whether that be whenever that may be. Well, thank you for dropping by, and I hope everything does go well for you. I was never here, delete this or beat me sad. No, I'm not deleting it. Dom's gonna see that later. Always wanting to listen and learn about her friends in the club. It's true, Sayori and Monika are naturally more comfortable with other people, and can more easily work through situations of conflict. But that doesn't make them better people. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses and the capacity to improve. And the first step towards improving oneself is reflection and self-awareness. It is something that Yuri never gave herself enough credit for, but that Monika can recognize it as an incredible trait. All I have to say, Dr. Yuri, is you will be fine. You'll be fine. Don't worry. And with that, her confidence in the club is restored. A very shy girl with long, pretty hair is wandering the bustling lunchtime hallways, her fist pressed into her collarbone. When she finds the literature club president's classroom, she stands at the door, glancing all around her before peering inside. Monika is sitting and chatting with a group of unknown friends. Yeah, as expected, this was a bad idea after all. Suddenly, Monika glances towards the door, making the girl panic and duck out of sight. Is this Yuri? Before she can regain composure and decide for sure to leave, the classroom door gently opens. Yuri, what a surprise to see you during lunch! Yuri squeaks in response. Please help me. What? Is everything okay? Yuri shakes her head. I don't know how to write letters. Really? Well, that's different. I didn't actually tag Yuri as bad at writing, considering that how she reads so much literature. But I guess like speaking from the like putting her feelings onto paper must be quite difficult for her. That's what I'm kind of gathering here. Thank goodness. I thought there was some kind of emergency. Monika briefly glances over her shoulder at her other friends. I actually didn't know that they had other friends. That's a surprise to me. Do you want some help? We're gonna go find an empty classroom or something. Is that okay? I feel bad taking you away from your friends. It's totally fine. I promise. We weren't really doing anything. One sec. Monika trots back into her classroom, says something like I gotta go to her friends, then grabs a pen off her desk before returning to Yuri. Okay, let's find somewhere quiet. Yuri nods and follows Monika as the two of them set off. Now, Sebastian, this is a long part too. How are you today? Huh? Me? Well, yes. Oh gosh, sorry. I was just caught off guard. I'm doing well today, just tired. I never seem to get enough sleep during the week. I feel exactly the same. I never get enough sleep. Man, I wish I can actually get more sleep than I do. Would be so nice, honestly. How come? Oh, I don't know. I think I'm just easily distracted. I get really sucked into things and start neglecting the time. No, that actually does sound exactly what I do. Me too. I do that too. Hey, this classroom is empty. Let's go in here. After peering inside, Monika opens the classroom door and the two of them enter. Yuri's moment of relaxation ends. She watches as Monika pulls two chairs up to the same desk, then obeys as Monika beckons her to take a seat. She stares down at the empty desk. You nervous? I don't want to do this. We don't have to. We can come up with something else. Yuri shakes her head. It's my chance to do something good. I need to take the initiative. Gosh, you must be really determined. I know how hard it is to step up out of your comfort zone. I'll be sure to encourage you. Yuri pushes through her anxiety and grabs a handful of lined paper from her notebook. Then she picks up her pen. Oh, this is cute. Hold on, this is actually cute. Look at these two. You can see how she's so reluctant and nervous, and Monica's like, ah, yes, this is wonderful. Oh, this is so great. I could be here all day long doing this. Oh my goodness. Hey, you're left-handed. That's neat. Yeah. Now, I don't have to worry about bumping your arm. Monica playfully rubs her shoulders against Yuri. Sorry, I'm just being silly, I guess. Hello, Meerkat. Welcome in, welcome in. I've actually finished the game before, but I have now gone through the DLC. Oh yeah, no, this is an amazing game. If anyone has played this game, it is actually totally amazing. By giving you heartache, trauma, PTSD, and heartache. Oh yeah, welcome in, Meerkat. Yeah, I've already gone through all the twists. I was just going through the DLC now. I have now gone through the DLC, I finished it like a year ago. But I came back to it after seeing the DLC and seeing the side stories. Like, oh, you know what? Let's go through this. Let's relive our childhood here. And it's taken longer than I thought it was. But yeah, so we're learning about the girls. Need more time loops? A little bit, maybe. Who knows? But yeah, this is one of them. Though I do plan on going through Outer Wilds for the last time, maybe on Friday, in order to finish the DLC. Because apparently the DLC is a very short one, I can get through it. Which, by the way, Mika, how you been? What have you been up to? Been up to anything interesting? And also, I'm guessing you played this game yourself. What are your thoughts about Monica and the girls? Sorry, I've just been silly, I guess. Anyway, how about we start by listening to the different things you want to say to her? Yuri thinks. I feel embarrassed all of a sudden. It's okay. How about some of the things you said to me yesterday? But never mind. I guess I'll try. Yuri thinks for a moment longer, her tension evident. Yeah, you can clearly tell she doesn't want to be here. Then she writes the word reflection. Title drop on the side story. This is about my reflection on our behavior. The key question is why we act like this towards each other, but have been able to separately be friends with Sayori and Monica. That's me! She's just happy to be here. I would have to say, out of all the waifu you could have in all games, I need just Monica. Ah yes, just Monica. Now actually, I'm gonna do this at the end of the stream here. I actually am gonna go through the true ending. As in, I got the true ending set up. I actually gone through the entire storyline for a second time, just so we get that special moment. And yeah, I can see why everyone loves Monica. And well, no, honestly, all the girls are great. Honestly, they're all very nice. Yeah, yes, it is. So, Yuri thinks, I've been able to befriend the two of you because you've taken the time to understand my needs and respect my interests. The same goes for Natsuki too. We started off as pretty hostile to each other, because I was so worried about getting what I wanted, but she just wanted to be respected more than anything else. Once I stopped making it all about me, she was able to do the same. I want to do that too. So what kind of things do you want to do for her? I want to do the same things for her that I like to receive. I like when people respond positively to the things I talk about, and not just brush me off. I like it when my feelings are taken seriously. And I like when you and Sayori trust that I want to be a good person, even when I'm not doing a good job at it. Let's write those things down. Okay. You write some things down. Here's the question for you. If you realize you live in a simulation, you get to access the files where you could adjust anything about reality. Do you think you could remain ethical in your use of that file? That entirely depends on what exactly the premise is about. I'm telling you this now. If we are in a simulation, and I do come to the conclusion that this is a simulation first and foremost, is it in a loop? Am I in a... I want you to paint me a scenario. Am I in the same boat as Monica, where it's like loops over the same, basically the same week over and over again? Is it like a Groundhog Day, where it repeats the day on a 24-hour basis, just non-stop? Or are we talking that I can live a certain amount of time before things just resets? Or better yet, I can live out my entire life, perish, and come back to a certain point in my life and redo things. Because I have different answers for every single one of those. So I'll let you choose one of them first, and I'll elaborate on what I think. I think the most important thing to remember here is that Natsuki is feeling vulnerable, so we should make sure that the letter puts her first. It's hard when you're feeling hurt, but it never helps to just tell someone all the things that they're doing wrong. I think first you have to make sure that they know you're ready to respect them and listen to them, and admit the things that you feel you could do better. Then finally, you ask what you would like in return. How does that sound for the structure? It could be 3 paragraphs, one for each of those points. I like that. My thoughts were so disorganized. I had no idea how to come up with any kind of structure. You're so amazing at these things. Oh, stop. He does so much more than I have, you know. You spend so much time reflecting and being open-minded that the hardest thing for anyone to do. I don't know about you guys, but are they about to kiss? Is it just about the kiss? Like the way that things have just kind of moved along. Like they're looking at each other in each other's eyes, they're holding lovey hands, they're close to each other, they're rubbing shoulders, they're at the same desk in a very dim, like passing sun-like moments. I bet there's fan art of that, let's be absolutely honest. Now, back to the question. You just have to find what you are looking for in the file and figure out how to modify it. So you're saying that I just so happen to stumble across this and that I'm able to, I can see all the files and that I can actually experiment, is more the question is. Well, I feel like when you actually come to the point that if you find things to be a simulation, and you miss the part. What? You could adjust anything about the file, you could set a global time variable to whatever you want. It's a simulation and you could literally adjust anything. Okay, so basically ultimate freedom. I have ultimate freedom over these files. I can adjust anything, all the parameters and everything else. Okay, so first of all, we're addressing the fact is we are in fact in a simulation. That's basically already put into the idea that everything is therefore not real. I think the first and foremost thing that I would probably do is actually find out, is anything actually real? That's the first thing. You gotta skim through all the files trying to figure out what exactly is real. Because the thing is, like, if there is things that are real, then you kind of work around that. However, if the entire thing is a simulation and you too are a simulation, that's when things get a little confusing there. Actually, I say confusing, but I know what I'll be doing. For other people, they'll probably be shell shocked. For me, it's like, oh, wow. Damn. I'm not real. I'm not a real boy. Guess I'm getting the Pinocchio treatment. But yeah. So going back to the actual question here. I feel like saying ethical is no longer a thing. Because like objectively speaking, there is no set good or bad, evil or like there's no evil, there's no good, there's no bad, there's no great, you get the idea. There's not good versus evil, because the fact is everything is within a simulation, everything can be changed. So therefore, I would go out of my way just to mess with it. Let's be absolutely honest here. If you are a part of a simulation and you know it, and you can adjust these files, I think that for starters, you probably just live normally for a while, like just see how things go along. Any minor inconvenience will start to like, oh, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna pull this out. You know what? Yep, there we go. I have dinner now. I have money. probably move yourself into better places. That's the first part of it. Now, as you get more and more familiar with it and having these nice things, they're gonna see, okay, what can I change exactly? Can I make myself smarter? Which, that's the thing. I need to make yourself smarter. I'm gonna go on a limb here because you have self-awareness. No. I gotta put that kind of limitation in. You cannot be smarter than you already are. Your awareness is your awareness. However, everyone else around you that is simulation with subconsciously can. But you with consciousness cannot. So in that regard, I would test it, become an experiment. I would test the outer limits. Physical limits, how intelligent someone can be. Basically, I'll be treating a person to be like ChatGPT, just in human format. I don't think there would be like an ethical background at that point, because again, nothing's real. So I feel like after some time, you'll just start doing crazy things. You would jump out of a plane, you would just set yourself at the highest thing, you try and see what's out in space. Or you could completely erase the field, go for the whole entire Mad Max scenario, where you just like the rule of it all, and you're just watching as everyone just kind of go hams out of everything. Which the one thing that I would do though, have a copy. I will have a copy of the original timeline, of the original effects, of the original parameters. That would be the only thing that I would do ethnically wise, to go back to a place where things were normal. So this, for me, I can revisit when times are normal. But then everything else will change. There's nothing stopping me. Why would I actually go out of my way to pretend that everything has everything when none of it's real? That's basically how it is. Especially from Monika's standpoint, she realizes she's in a simulation, that she's the only one aware of it, and she discovers that you are real. Why would she care about anything in the simulation like you or whatever? They aren't real. You are. I reckon that, like, this is the thing. Again, when it comes to the simulation, you always have this sublime, subconsciously sense that even though that they're not real, let's say Yuri's not real, for example, but she's your friend. You've grown up, like you've gotten to know each other, and under these circumstances, that's why I say you would have a copy. Like, no matter how much you change things, no matter how much what you actually do, you will have a copy ready to go back and meet your friend. So yeah, I think that's the only real thing. That's why in like at the end of it all, Monica still had the save files. Because even as much as she knew none of it was real, as much as she knew that nothing was coming out of it, she was never gonna have a happy ending. At the end of the day, she's still seen them as friends, as far beyond her experiments went. That's why she had the copy still, but she's still seen them as friends, despite the fact she messed with it so much. That's why I kind of see it as well. You know what? I feel like me and Monica are on the same wavelength when it comes to messing with the simulation. I think that's what happens to me. Yeah, you know what? I can relate to a lot. Anyways, that's what I'm gonna say about that. When it comes to that kind of scenario, I will have a backup copy. On that note, now that we have spoken about this topic, you should check out the book series Magic 2.0. It's about a guy that discovers reality is a simulation, and he has access to reality's data file and modifies it to do magic. Actually, that actually sounds interesting. I wouldn't mind seeing that. But man, I'll also say this. Man, would it suck to know you're not real. Because like, what's stopping you from, like, there's nothing stopping things now. Like, oh my god, it's all a simulation. Why am I doing here? It would suck. Of course I'm gonna learn magic. Oh no, totally. It's like debug mode but real life. Alright, anyways, let's get back to this. All I'm doing is helping you put in on a piece of paper. So I think you're the amazing one. Monica gives Yuri hand a quick squeeze. But as she lets go, she caught by surprise when Yuri curls her fingers to hook Monica's hand in place. For a while, they sit there like that in silence, save for the occasional scratching of Yuri's pen against the paper. I'm getting a lot of Yuri vibes. Yes, yesterday you told me something that I'm thinking about a lot. What was that? The thing about how feelings aren't right or wrong, and that they're just a state of being we need to come to terms with. It made me think about how a person's behavior isn't always just how they decide to be. It's also made up of their past experiences and their insecurities. I think that helps me see other people as actual people, rather than as insignificant side characters who are out to get me somehow. Is that how you felt about Natsuki? Yuri nods. But in reality, everyone is always trying their best, and everyone wants to be happy. Monica peers over at Yuri's paper, but to her surprise, Yuri pulls it in closer, partially covering it with her arm. I have to be able to read it to help out, you know. It's okay. My thoughts are a lot more organized now, after being able to talk to you about it. Now that I'm actually putting it on paper, I realize I really prefer others not to read it. I get that feeling. Yuri laughs softly to herself, a rare expression. I'm kinda glad to hear that actually. I'm somehow keep finding ways to butt into this whole thing. I've done enough damage. But it's also been so wonderful talking about this. I mean, I always thought you were really smart, but... Yuri smiles. I will always be terrible at these things. People are just so incomprehensible to me. I'll never get the hang of being one. But listening to you so much has really helped me make sense of some things. So just don't call it damage, please. Monica gives Yuri a gentle smile. Can't believe I came to this club looking for fantasy geeks, and all I got was real friends who value me. Is that a joke? Of course it is. I still can't tell with you. Sorry. No, I love it. Please never change. As you wish. Yuri glances at the clock. We're almost out of time. Will you be able to finish? Before the end of the day? Probably. But I don't want to come to the club the same day that Natsuki reads it. I'm too shy. I can give it to her instead if you like. Yuri nods. As long as you promise not to read it. Of course, I promise. And don't worry, I'm gonna read your comment very shortly. Meerkat. I just trying to move this along now. Thank you. Yuri excels, and the two stands up. I'll message you when it's ready. Monica nods. Good luck! I'm here if you need me! Yuri returns a nod, and the two depart. That should be the end of that side story. Yep, it is. There we go. We got pictures, and that's the new picture now. Yep, new picture. There we go. That's our new picture. I'll put it on a bit of music. Lavender Mist. So now I can finally talk freely without worrying about where we are in the side stories. And where we are in the side stories now is... self-love! It's all about self-love, people. So anyways, getting back to Meerkat's totally random rant. But I hate time travel realistic stories that are all like, you shouldn't try to change the past because it happened for a reason. Because that's all just anti-time travel propaganda. And it was on that day that Monica realized that when Yuri said, as you wish, what she was really saying was, I love you. Princess Bride reference. Ah, nice. Oh yeah, she's a fantasy. Just a reference to one of the novels. Oh, the novels she read. That's cute. Oh, I didn't pick that up at all. But no, you can tell Yuri really enjoys the company of people. But yeah, as far as the I reckon this, as far as time travel goes, changing the past and anything like that, I feel like that's not possible. You have to hear me out on this. Because you hear about time travel and all that, and you always kind of assure yourself that, like, if you travel into the past, it will have this ripple effect. Well, that's if you believe that's how time works. If time is linear, yeah, sure, totally. But I also think like this. If you travel back into the past, for example, I reckon at most, you're causing a loop file. And all it is just like, it just loops back over itself, and then just continues along. Your future self basically your present self causes past actions that goes into the future. So by you going into the past, that is not the past. That's still your present. It's still carrying on to the future. And in a way, if it's a loop system, just hear me out, then what is to happen within that time frame still happens. And by that definition, like, yeah, you already gonna know what's gonna happen. It's just that you might see yourself as a kid. You see yourself as a kid, then like, yeah, you would have seen that. But you probably wouldn't even recognize it. Why? You're a kid. You just see a person like, he looks kind of familiar. And then the adult version like, oh, that's me as a kid. Oh, Because let's be honest, if someone calls up to you and it's like, hey, I'm the future you. Don't do this. You probably already seen that happen. Like, okay, weirdo, get out of here. That's because you're highly intelligent, which then I think what would happen then, you just have some sort of weird agreement, which then changes nothing, and you kind of realize that all you did was you completed the loop. Oh, better yet, that's one idea. So no matter what actions you take from time traveling, it will always occur to the truest sense. Because that's one theory. There are many theories about how time travel could work, but as we don't have a working time machine, it seems strange that we have people moralizing about how you shouldn't try to change the past. I think the problem is like a lot of people with time travel have this power fantasy. Let's put it this way: people have this power fantasy of making the world better, for starters, and they feel like one of the prime examples is going back to World War II when Hitler came into power. People got the idea that, like, you know what happens if we just go ahead and, just get rid of Hitler altogether? No, baby Thanos. But I don't think it's that simple. I think, like, you will do that, and it may make things worse, or it could make things better. You don't know. That's the thing, though. You do not know what's gonna happen from this result. Or better yet, you just done this, return to your present, and nothing's changed. What does that tell you then? Is that all just like a different timelines altogether, a simulation? Was that a different dimension? Are you time traveling, or are you traveling between dimensions now? Then there's also the idea of branching timelines. And believe me, there are so many theories about time travel that it's just insanely mind-numbing. A common time travel story is that a guy's wife dies, so he wants to go back in time and save his wife. But oh no, he finds out that he can't change the past and that he needs to learn to move on with a world where his wife is dead. Well, let's simplify this. Well, I mean, here's another thing that he could do. Go back in the past and just live with his wife. But then he has to deal with his past self as well. But yeah, no, honestly, that's one of the things though. Like, you can probably go into the past, go back to the present, and nothing's changed. I mean, there is that theory as well. Like, you literally going into the past is non-consequential. So there's really no real way to know if this is gonna work. Anyways, we're getting a bit off topic here. Well, actually, I'll continue with that topic soon because I actually am very intrigued. But we are on a time schedule for Doki-Doki, so I'm gonna get started on self-love. But no, you gotta be thinking a lot on that. Very intrigued. It's only been one day since Yui's letter was delivered to Natsuki with Monika's help. Because Yui chose not to attend the club meeting that day, she and Natsuki haven't faced each other since. Although it's only lunchtime, Yui finds herself anxiously counting the hours until she will need to face the outcome of her efforts, whether good or bad. And because the passing by of students was making her feel even more anxious, You picked out the most secluded spot she could find to spend her lunch. I bet it's the toilet. That's not the toilet. Because this staircase is under maintenance, no students would have any reasons for coming here. Okay, that's fair. Alright. Reading timeline again. Imagine your wife is injured and you want to save your wife, so get your wife into a car, travel so quick as you can to the hospital, but oops, you crash and kill someone on the road. Guess you shouldn't have, on the road, guess you shouldn't have been trying to take your wife to the hospital because of the butterfly effect. So how ridiculous that sounds when we remove time travel and just frame with normal travel. I mean, here's an idea. Why don't you just, soccer trials, yes. Why don't you just go into the past, grab your wife, take her to the present? But that's a time paradox then. At some point or another, she has to return to the past, or it just causes a time paradox, which then, I don't know what happens then. Which then stems to the fact is, does this change the past? Or are you just, you've gone into a different dimension rather than a time travel? Who knows? And hello, Matt Manny, nice to have you here. Hope you're having a wonderful time. Oh, I see what you're saying now. I was more gripping about how stories like you shouldn't even try to time travel because blah. I think that's just superstition. Let's be absolutely honest. If you had the ability to time travel, I feel like people will be way too curious to find out what exactly happens with that. You definitely get a group of scientists that theorizes a lot of it. They will weigh the risks, and there's just no. There will come to the point where curiosity will be way greater than moral ethics. So yes, no, I see what you're getting at there. Because how do you know? No one has done it. Should we not find out? And is it worth the risk? And if you do take the risk, what results are you hoping to gain? That's the thing. You need to set your parameters of what you're wanting to achieve with time travel. And if you do achieve such your parameters, do you modify the parameters, or do you see how much you can actually push on it? That's again entirely an other thought. So as far as should you do it, should you not do it, I say people will be way too curious not to try it. It's such a relaxing feeling to have a moment of solitude in the middle of a frantic school day. And there we have it, folks. They have collided. Two forces met each other. The sword, the shield, and the spear. No, I'm kidding. Time travel, you end up vanishing if you meet yourself in that time. Don't think it works. Again, it entirely needs to be, how does it work? But, is it to the point, again, here's another theory. What happens if you do time travel, and that does happen, you meet yourself, you disappear. But it only disappears you from that instance. Does that mean you're in an endless loop of you just going back into the past, doing different things, reoccurring the same phenomenon, and just over and over and over again, just this singular you going through all these different scenarios? We have no way of knowing. For a good time travel story, I would enjoy it as long as the rules for the time travel are consistent. No, I absolutely agree with you there. Now, if you're actually gonna go with world building, I mean, I need a just chat stream. I honestly, you're talking on topics that I really want to dive in. Meerkat, you're talking on topics I want to dive in. I can't do that while during a gaming stream. Why did I choose a light novel today? Ah! If I could actually just, had any other game on, this would have been completely fine. But I had to choose a light novel. But yeah, world building. I believe that when it comes to world building, you must give your universal rules. You must give like a parameter that everyone has to work with. You can bend it to only to such a degree, but you cannot break them. That's what I reckon. Because I've seen it all the time where like, and this is a #1 rule amongst all mages, that you cannot take another magic spell from another class due to your attributes. Suddenly, but this happens along the way and suddenly you've morphed into this thing. Oh, now everyone does it. Like, I feel like if you can make a technical point, that's different. If you can actually learn how to merge tech, that's different. But if you're doing world building, stick to your rules. Because once you break those rules, nothing makes sense. Or it's not that it doesn't make sense, it just means everything's permitted. Yeah, maybe, we'll see, who knows. Anyways, moving on. Ip! What are you doing here? I just... Yuri grips her book with enough force to wrinkle the pages beneath the pressure of her thumbs. Well, what are you doing here? Not just two loners just gathering to one secluded spot, nothing out of the ordinary. And now, time travel is a very interesting topic, I will admit that. I just came to get a drink from the vending machine. The other one is out of the drink I like. Yuri notices Natsuki fidgeting with a few coins between her fingers. She nods, avoiding eye contact. Natsuki, who's looking away, shovels over to the vending machine. It's so quiet that every one of her movements seems to reverberate through the entire stairwell. After far too long, she finally receives her beverage, which she then fidgets with in place of the coins. It's some kind of iced tea. But instead of leaving right away, Natsuki just stands in place. She glances all around her. It's like way too quiet back here. It's creepy. I mean, that's not what I meant. Really, I mean, it's totally cool that it's your thing or whatever. Like, I can see how it suits you, so just trying to be considerate. Let's get into the brain of Doc from Back to the Future, of course. Well, we got Rick and Morty as well. There's that idea as well. Not because I think you're creepy or something. I didn't mean that either. You know, I'm just gonna stop talking. That seems like a good idea. She is entangled in her feelings right now. She is confuzzled. You can actually already tell that she wants to say something, but she's so entangled for how she's feeling right now, and her thoughts and her feelings are not lining up, and it's causing her to have a lot of confusion. It's okay. Everything is okay. Yuri finds herself attempting some words of comfort after hearing Natsuki stammer herself into dejection. Seemingly in response, Natsuki approaches the base of the staircase and hesitantly sits herself down near Yuri. And yes, Dominic, we need to go back to the future. Well, I can leave if you want. Yuri shakes her head. Natsuki twists the cap off her drink and takes a sip. Despite receiving Yuri's general permission, Natsuki doesn't say anything more. Yuri continues to read, or at least pretends to. But this is awkward. And the two just sits there for a long time. The tension seems to fade a little bit as time passes. Even without any words, there seems to mean at least something, though it's not clear what that may be. Okay, another pause because I want to read this. One of the things I like about Doc is that he demonstrates perfectly that it's okay if the smart guy misunderstands how time travel works, as long as the time travel presented to the viewer is consistent. Doc can be wrong, the story cannot. No, absolutely, I agree with that standard. Because here's the things, I treat this like this. The periodic table. There's rules, sets, and how things react to it accordingly. Actually, better yet, I got a better idea. Pythagoras. Pythagoras had a belief. He went with the belief that everything could be solved with Pythagoras. You know, the a equals b squared times plus c squared. You get the idea. He thought that that was the universal rule. Turns out he was wrong. He acknowledges that he was wrong. Unfortunately for him, he was actually read his demise by his followers. But beside the point. The universe has a set rule that is governed no matter what. We can only interpret that rule. And that's where I feel like a lot of authors get lost, is that they go from because they go from interpreting the rule to just outright overriding the rule. And because if you do not have set rules in your world, again, it just means everything is permitted. why should you continue building up in this world when everything's permitted? You can do whatever you want in it. The story can go anywhere. But if you have a set rule and your interpretation of that rule was incorrect, well, that you can expand on that. You can change it to what you think is a new interpretation of that rule, and then adjust. So I like that idea. I really like that idea. And so I totally agree with you there, Meerkat. And that's why trial and error is a thing, yes. We might have sent people into the past or even possibly the future, but the important part of all this is there's no witnesses anymore. Yeah, sure, Dominic. That's exactly how it works. And yes, no, that's exactly true, man. We are always going back in time. Yes, Dominic, that's exactly it. We should send all, like, people that we don't want, you know, known to be the world. We should send them into the past or future that never come back. But yes, if you're gonna be a novelist, if you're gonna be anything, if you're gonna create your own worlds, set your rules, set your parameters, then work around the parameters, even make false rules. I reckon that's a better idea for authors. Set false rules so that the interpretation can be changed later on because you already set it up as a false flag. You still have your main premise there. You haven't broken your main premise, but you've broken the false flag instead. I reckon that's a better way to go. You put up a false rule instead. What is the intended interpretation, and then you realize it's actually wrong, which then that doesn't break your world because your worlds have already been built upon the rules that you already set to that world. I reckon that's the best way to go. It's the same thing as when people try to write up villains as well. The best way to write a very good villain, focus on the one main villain to be the end goal. This is the villains that every other villain will have to be inspired to, sympathize, or even just completely against. And that's how you can just kind of go along. The hit didn't get a response, so I'm indulging in a lot of things right now. My mind is in turbo mode. Sorry about that, Maddie. I just like right now, it's just like, yeah, my mind's going 100 miles an hour. Anyways, that's what I believe. Moving on. Getting back to the game. Lunch ends more quickly than expected. Natsuki is the first to stand up with her empty drink bottle. Are you coming today? To the club? Yui nods. I'm sorry for being so awkward. I'm really bad at talking about this stuff. I just can't for some reason. I don't know why. But I want to eventually. There's no rush. I promise. Thanks. This is gonna take a while, isn't it? This stream suddenly is gonna take a very long time. It's the next day. Natsuki appears from around the corner and steps up to the vending machine, glancing at Yui as she does so. Today, she seems to be holding some kind of book as well. Oh, you're here again. Well, I just came here to read this, because there aren't any people around here. Oh, I thought you didn't like how quiet it was. Well, I don't, but there's no people here. And don't worry, I'll read you guys' comments soon, but it's like we are dragging this out quite a fair bit now. I see. Natsuki sits down. The mood feels much different today than it did yesterday. After yesterday's lunch and the club meeting that followed, Natsuki and Yui are beginning to feel more relaxed around each other again. Although Yui's letter is still lingering in the back of Natsuki's mind, she continues to deter around it. This is the time when Natsuki is really not honest with herself. But it's okay that I'm here. Yeah, I don't care. I mostly just don't feel like dealing with the crap I get from my friends about it. Especially since, like, the urge has assumed I stopped reading manga after I joined the literature club. Not that I'm trying to hide it from them exactly, but I just don't want it to come up again now after I've waited so long for this new volume to come out. Literally months at this point. You don't have other friends who are into manga? Not unless your online friends count. And Sayori? But that's different because she's not exactly into it, she just likes it. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's Sayori for you. Honestly, you're lucky that the books you're into at least just look like books. so you don't have to feel like everyone is constantly judging you by what you're reading. That would be so awful, especially since I already hate attention so much. Well, it's a good thing I have thick skin, I guess. By the way, I would totally recommend finding some friends online, if you haven't already. If you're like me and have no one to share your hobbies with. Oh, I have online friends. Since middle school, actually. I was especially desperate back then. It's somewhat embarrassing to reminisce about those days. They're actually normal girls. I can't believe it, they're normal people. Guys, they're normal. From playing the game, I get this false sense already that they're gonna be something entirely different. No, they're exactly normal. Now going back to Meerkat here. For example, you could absolutely write a fanfic for Harry Potter here. Muggles learn to use magic because the only reason we think Muggles can't use magic is from what people have said in the world. Not from Muggles trying to use magic and failing. True. I mean, I suppose you can actually explore deeper into that, but we all know that the wizardry world, but we also know that like magic can be infused into half-bloods as well. So that tells me that Muggles, it isn't that they have the lack of capacity of doing it, that's just that they do not have the, I guess the, I can't think of the word. But yeah, basically they're not hardwired immediately to actually produce magic. But I think like they could harness magic if given the chance, because they are humans without magic are excellent researchers. Natsuki is just a leader of a manga. She's in school. I promise you that there are many people in that school that enjoy manga. She just assumes that they don't really like them in the same way. I mean, yes, I can see that, but at the same time, both Natsuki and Yui have experience reflects that nobody else has taken a strong interest in that regard. So it's not that they are particularly unaware of this. It's more to the point that their experience dictates that others are like this. So yeah, no, I get where you're coming from, Meerkat, but yeah, again, we don't know how the school is like. We can only interpret. Yes, Dominic, that's it. Innate ability. Sometimes I feel like the me from a few years ago would have benefited from a good smack across the face. Whatever. We were all just stupid kids back then anyway. Some of the fanfics I wrote, thank God I used a pseudonym. Wait, what fanfic? But I liked it at the time. I got a lot of fulfillment out of it. And plus, I can look back and say with confidence that I've become a better person since then. So I don't think I would change anything. And no worries, Meerkat, you enjoy yourself. It was lovely chatting with you, by the way. It got me into a lot of thinking about these different theories. Again, I just wish it wasn't during a light novel. Because you got me on a big rant, and I'm known for getting on rants. But nevertheless, you have a wonderful time, Meerkat. Thank you for dropping by. I hope you have a wonderful time, and I'll see you again soon. If there is a soon. I wonder if a few years from now we'll think the same thing about our current selves. Probably. That doesn't make you uncomfortable? No, of course not. I don't care what other people think of me. Especially someone who doesn't even exist yet. Alright, here. Natsuki raises her hand to her face and forcefully slaps her own cheek. That's me from the future, coming to terms with me right now. Also, ow. I didn't mean to do it that hard. Unintentional self-slap. Yui doesn't seem to react. But then to Natsuki's surprise, Yui shyly looked the other way before lifting her arm and doing the same thing to herself. Loudly smacking her cheek. Ooh, jeez. She turns red and stares into her lap, but is unable to hide a smile as though it was a really funny joke. Or that she's really into slapping herself, I don't know which one. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. I didn't know you had it in you. I don't even know why I did that. Maybe I thought it would be funny. Sorry, I keep distracting you. You said you were looking forward to reading, but I keep going on about all this nonsense. I'll let you get to your reading. Oh, right. Yeah, I guess I'll do that then. The conversation ends quickly, and Natsuki opens her book. The two read silently for the remainder of the lunch hour. But the whole time, Yuri feels distracted by a twist of regret over having so abruptly forced the end of their conversation. I'm not gonna finish this today, am I? You're back. Yeah, I'm here to lay low again. Another day has passed. During lunchtime, Natsuki finds herself having wandered to the stairwell once more. Hey, did you buy that? Natsuki quickly notices a bottle of iced tea on the staircase where she normally sits. Yuri nods, avoiding eye contact. What? Like, for me? But you didn't know I was coming here today. Why if I didn't show up? Well, I would've drank it myself, I guess. It was a stupid thing to do. No, it wasn't stupid. I just thought... Never mind. What I meant to say is thank you. And that it's a really nice gesture. It's okay if you don't feel that way. I do! It was the other things that I didn't mean. I swear, please believe me. Yuri pauses, then nods. Talking is hard. I get it wrong a lot too. And yeah, Dominic, I feel like I'm gonna be kind of very close. So I believe you. Natsuki exhales in relief. She then sits down next to Yuri and takes the drink. Knowing Yuri, she was probably overthinking it so much that Natsuki's tepid response filled her with self-doubt. I do something nice for you next time. Please don't feel obligated. I want to! I want to do nice things too. Okay. Thank you. You can thank me after I figure out how to do something nice. I'll do it then too. Natsuki signs. Nothing. It just reminds me how I haven't been getting along with my friends lately. Is that why you've been coming here? Well, no, not exactly. I haven't been avoiding them on purpose or anything. There are just other things I'd rather be doing during lunch lately. I like being around them when we're all just having fun, but I also just can't take anything seriously. So when I'm, I don't know, feeling serious, then their attitudes just really get on my nerves. It's only gotten worse ever since I joined the literature club. How come? I don't know. I feel like I used to be really good with just putting up with it, because it would be so stupid to cause drama over a joke I didn't like or something. And well, let's be absolutely honest, those were not real friends. You were more like their... Well, in that group, you were more like their punchline. And you only just kind of realized that you actually do have friends, which is in the literature club, and it's now starting to... You're starting to take notice. But I have a hard time doing that lately. But it's my fault for being overly sensitive. If I have a problem, I'm not gonna demand for everyone around me to change. But... yeah, I know. Monika and Sayori really don't agree with that kind of thing. But they're not in my position. So it's easy for them to say that you should just communicate your feelings. Oh, whatever. It's not like my friends group does that kind of thing. I would just be making an embarrassment of myself. Sorry, none of this has anything to do with you. I don't know why I'm talking about it. It's okay. I like listening. What? Listen to other people's problems? And the Golden Globe goes to da 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 da. Definitely not me. I don't know what the Golden Globe's about. I'm just reading the script, guys. I'm just reading the script. Yes. That's weird. Sorry. I just like learning about people. You think it's weird? No! That's not weird. I probably just misunderstood, so... I don't know. Does that mean I should keep going? If you like. Okay. Well, I don't know what to talk about now. What are some things that you like about your friends? A lot of things. I mean, they're really fun to hang out with, look like after school and on the weekends, and they really like my baking, and it's fun to complain about school together. They make me laugh a lot, and we have a lot of good memories and inside jokes. Oh, I'm bad at a lot of those things. So, are these all things that are important to you? Well, kind of. But not things I need to get out of everybody. Everyone in the club is really different from that, but I'm still friends with them too. Well, Sayori really likes your baking. I am not a Soon. Oh, are you talking about Natsuki? Yeah, she can be a Soon, but I'm not a Soon. And she makes you laugh. And she complains a lot. That doesn't mean she's anything like my other friends. Well, unlike them, she's the nice person who cares about your feelings. Excuse me? How about you don't talk that way about my friends that you don't know anything about? Natsuki stands up. No, wait. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I didn't want to say something bad. Please don't leave. She's not wrong. I'll be absolutely honest, she's not wrong. Natsuki signs and shakes her head. It's fine. As long as you understand that you can't just judge people like that. I'm sorry. Natsuki sits back down. You can't just compare friends like that and like measure who's better than you. Everyone's different. I'm sorry. I just don't like people who wants to hurt you. A moment of silence stretches between them. They don't want to hurt me. We just like to tease each other about stupid things. It's fun. I don't like that. Well, that's why I'm friends with them and you're not. You like it? She doesn't. Just don't worry so much about me. It's not worth it. Come on, Natsuki, you know you don't like this. You should be able to, like, be honest with your friends. Oh, well, then again, I have some friends that just, you know, just do things for fun. I could totally get that. But yeah, there has to be at some point where it's just, enough is enough. I'm sorry. I wish I knew how to help with social conflicts. Look how Monica can. She's good at these things. Not really. Also, I don't always want help. Sometimes it's just stuff I have to deal with myself. That's what Monica and Sayori never seem to understand. Sometimes all you do is look at them wrong and they're all like, ah, what's wrong? Is everything okay? I just want to mind my own business sometimes and decide myself if I want to talk about things. The only one who understands that is you. So you really shouldn't be so hard on yourself. You're not as bad as you think. Oh. Don't need to reassure me or anything. I mean that. Plus, it makes sense that someone who doesn't talk a lot would make a good listener. Thank you. You're oh so nice. That got her a little bit. It's really hard for me. It doesn't come naturally at all. It's so weird because I always thought of myself as someone who can just say whatever's on my mind. But I feel like that only works when I'm annoyed or upset or I want to say something mean. Why am I like that? You don't have to answer that. I'm just talking to myself. Yuri nods and remains silent. And yeah, it's true, Dominic. Sometimes you just need to sit and listen. Don't always need to provide a solution. No, honestly, I'll tell you this now. That actually happens more often than not. I'll be absolutely honest. some people don't mind hearing solutions, but for a lot of like there are quite a few people that just want a fence. They really just want a fence. That's all it is as well. And the problems that they do have, they don't want you solving it. They know it's their problem and they want to solve it themselves. Because it directly involves them. It is how it is. Which I can see how it can be annoying when someone gets involved when you didn't want them to. When you want things just to be calm, and now it's like suddenly it's everyone's business, and like, great, I shouldn't have said anything at all. I get that feeling. And some people just say they care, but really, DGAF, yes, definitely, don't give a flying foxtrot. But no, I get you. I have seen those types of people. It's like the false moral high ground. I have seen that plenty of times. Natsuki notices her fidgeting with the pages of her book. How come you like reading so much? Oh, well, a lot of reasons. I just get sucked into it so easily. It's so immersive, like I want to be a part of it. I think there are a lot of things about people in real life that makes me feel uncomfortable and frustrated, especially when it comes to following social convention and group interactions. I just don't really understand it, and I have no real desire to participate. But it's different with books. It feels like I always want to be around the characters. I feel such a strong emotional connection with them in ways that I never felt with real people. So in that way, it can sometimes feel more real than real life. Really? It's that hard for you to be around people? Like, all the time? Fairly often, especially in group settings. When people are making all kinds of conversation and saying jokes, and all of that, I don't know what to do, and I just disengage. Oh. That doesn't get lonely? I don't think so. I can still enjoy spending time with people one-on-one, and I have online friends too, of course. Do you ever wish that you could be friends with the characters in your books? Oh, actually, that is a good question. Sometimes. All the time. Sometimes so bad that it makes my heart ache. I had IRL experience with what my last message is talking about. Yes, no. I feel you on that. I know a lot of people that gives you like the... Well, not just online. I have IRL experience as well, where people will say one thing, but really, when push comes to shove, they don't follow through. I have plenty of those. Which I guess that's also the reason why I'm very self-reliant, that I don't really rely on other people, because I feel like it's... One, I'm like wait, in that regard, I'm like Natsuki in a way. I don't like other people knowing my problems. I have a tendency of just figuring it out and getting it over with. Or just moving on entirely. Because the amount of times I have trusted another person with my problems, yeah, it didn't turn out well. So, yeah, I'm less reliant on people. Because it's not the fact that I don't trust you guys, it's just the fact is I find it easier just to keep it to myself and just solve it all together. Yeah, me too. Really? A lot. Like, more than anything. After Natsuki mutters that, silence fills the stairwell once more. But it's a mutual silence, one full of understanding. Oh wow, that was the end of that story. Okay, well. I think we got enough time to finish this last one. I reckon so, because look at that. We actually got the last one up here. Self-Love, Part 2. And yeah, I know, Maddie, it's difficult. It's difficult to actually try and rely on another person, because, like, again, when it comes to IRL experience, it's just... things haven't worked out. Wait, where are we getting... Are we getting 3 pictures for the site? You know what? I'm gonna leave that alone. Because I'm not entirely too sure what's going on with these two here. Is this like just like ended credits? Maybe. Oh yeah, secrets. Anyways, moving on. We're gonna get on to the part 2, try and wrap things up, and see where it takes us. Hey! Oh, hello. I almost thought you weren't coming today. Yeah, well... Lunch is already more than halfway over. Yeah, you should have plenty of time to finish up. We're only going to go a little over time than expected. Yes, I know. With 40 minutes, we should be able to wrap things up, so long as I don't get too distracted. Natsuki had typically been meeting Yuri in the stairwell much earlier, since it had been a good way of dodging her friends when she didn't feel like seeing them. Today, she's holding a large plastic container in both hands. I ran into my friends, so I hung out with them for a while. Is that so? Yeah. I was in a good mood today, so I figured I should. I hadn't seen them in a while, which I had to come up with an excuse for, but I expected that. Plus, I have way more of these than I know what to deal with, so I figured I would share it with them too. As she sits down, Natsuki opens the lid of her container. You make cupcakes. You know it! It's been a while at this point, so I figured it was about time again. You can take one if you want. Yuri takes a cupcake and carefully twirls it between her fingers. It's brown, with dark green frosting immaculate detail. It's shaped around the cupcake. Shaped into a floral pattern and topped with some kind of glittery powder. How pretty. And no, it's matter. You take care of yourself, and thank you for hanging out for as long as you have. And I don't know, we got into quite a few subjects, which I actually quite enjoy talking about. But nevertheless, it's always nice seeing you again, Maddie, and I'm wishing you the best. Have a good night. I'll catch you again later. I should say it, so I may not be able to finish it. Are they for the club? Yeah, I guess so. I didn't really think about it. I just made them. I just thought that because green is Monica's favorite color, right? Well, yeah, but that's not really... Yuri takes a small bite. This is green tea flavored. Yuri likes green tea. I love green tea. Oh, do you? It was just a random idea I wanted to try, so... It wasn't just a random idea, guys. Don't laugh at me. I'm not. I'm just felt happy. Oh. Sorry. Oh, these kids. These kids. Usually when... Never mind. What I meant is that I'm glad. See? It's her experience. Her experience is getting in the way of what's actually happening. Sorry for saying some dumb things again. Just wanted to do something nice. This is something I happen to be good at. And I do know that you like them from past experience. Yuri turns red, calling the time she treated herself rather generously to Natsuki's cupcakes. Ironically, her mouth is too full of cupcake for her to stammer an excuse, so she just settled for a disapproving look. How did you get into baking? Oh, well, I don't know. It just always appealed to me. Well, a few years ago, I read this one manga with a lot of baking, so I got like super into it for a while. I was probably making stuff almost every day. But it's something that I always knew I liked anyway. It's like, baking is like art. When you get good at it, it gets more delicious too. I'm struggling to imagine myself putting my heart into something so artistic. Artistic, sorry. Knowing that it would just be eaten afterwards. Yeah, maybe you're too practical for it. I think I prefer to be on the receiving end. That's my other favorite part about it. It's something I can do that makes a lot of people happy, like unconditionally. Everyone is always so thankful, and in that moment you get to be like the bringer of joy. I don't know, it just makes me feel... valued? Yeah, I guess that. So, you were able to make up with your friends today? There wasn't really anything to make up with them about. We weren't fighting or anything. Tween reincarnation manga? Oh yes, absolutely. I mean, she does read a lot of manga. Let's be honest with that. She reads a lot of manga. You weren't? Maybe I misunderstood. It only turns into a fight if I lose my cool. That's just unnecessary drama. It only makes things worse. So, they're not going to stop? I mean, it only happens sometimes anyway. It's just the way they are. I'm the only one who ever has a problem with it. It's not worth it. Especially since I have something to go now when I don't feel like hanging out with them. Oh, I see. The cupcake's empty foil wrapper audibly crinkles as Yuri clenches a fist. I'm glad that the situation is resolved. And that you don't have to avoid them anymore. Yeah, me too. Wait, what's happening here? And I don't have to bother you during your alone time anymore. Oh, there's a misunderstanding happening again! I'm sure you have a lot of reading to catch up on. Yeah. I know that cupcakes are basically nothing compared to all the stuff you've done for me. That's the best I can do. You can have the rest of them. Natsuki grabs the box and slides it over to Yuri's feet. Yuri stares at the box. Then she shakes her head and slides them back. You should save them for your other friends. Ah, the misunderstandings are happening again! Yuri! Natsuki! It's fine to be friends! But I made them for you. Natsuki's voice whines as she protests. I know, and I like them very much, exactly as you thought. You succeeded. But I know you care about making your other friends happy too. And if this is the way you know how to make that happen, then I'm not going to take it from you. No! They were for making you happy. You make me happy. You're worth more than cupcakes to some people. That's why they want to spend time with you and be your friend. Without warning, tears pour from Natsuki's eyes. She pulls her knees to her chest and starts sobbing into her arms. Natsuki? I'm such a bad person. Yuri stammers, feeling panicked. I didn't mean to say something bad. It's not that. We can see where this is going, guys. Right? Let's just have this going. Well, I started replaying DDLC, but it feels different from yours, even though the poems are the same. Wait, what do you mean by how it feels different? Is it just the way I play it? Or is it just like it's reliving? You have to elaborate more on that, mate. But no, DDLC is great. Honestly, I went through it recently myself and like, oh god, I remember how traumatic it was. I saw the real eyes and the heavy breathing, my god. But anyways, going to a serious moment here. We gotta hold back. Yeah, we gotta hold back on the comments. Well, I mean reading the comments. Like, I don't even remember this scene, and there's no streaming mode. Oh no, this is the side story. This is the DLC. Do you have Doki-Doki Literature Plus? Because this is the side story. Oh yeah, I will be back with the comment section. First of all, let me go through here. Natsuki shakes her head and wipes her eyes. You didn't. Natsuki tries to choke back her sobs, but struggles to speak through them. I just really hate myself sometimes. And it feels so wrong when you say those nice things to me. Like I don't deserve it. I'm sorry. No, I am! I'm so difficult. And I can't think of even a single thing about myself that somebody would like. And I hated myself for bothering you during lunch. It wasn't a bother. I just thought it was my chance to be a good person. Like to be nice and do the things you write about in the letter. I knew if I tried in the club, Sayori and Monica would be super annoying and make a huge deal out of it. You know, I think a lot of these negative things too about myself. I never felt like a good person. I always scrutinize everything I say. And later I feel like I said all the wrong things. And I just spent so much time thinking about myself, hating myself, and feeling like everyone else must hate me too. So, I understand some of that through my own experience. And that's why I wanted to write the letter and express my feelings. It's paying me to see these things in someone else that I saw in myself. They really are alike. These two are really have a lot in common. Natsuki sniffles. Yuri rustles through her bag and pulls out some tissues, then hands them to Natsuki. Monica told me that it takes a good person to reflect on these things. The desire to improve yourself. That makes you a good person. Don't worry so much. Also, there are things about you that people would like, so... Like what? Like how you're fun for people to be around. And you're not shy. You know how to make people laugh. And you're very passionate about things. And you know how to take the lead. Care a lot about other people. And just a lot of things. Oh. Well, now you're making me feel really embarrassed. Well, you're the one who asked. And don't you think I feel embarrassed? Natsuki tries to hide a smile. Then she sighs as it fades again. Every time I come here, I always think it's the last time. But then I keep coming back for some reason. Is that bad? I don't see it as bad. Do you guys see this as being bad? I don't see it being bad. Just really confusing. I mean, my friends and I go way back, so teaching them all the time feels like, I don't know. Feels like what? Natsuki's voice gets quiet. Maybe I'm scared that they'll get mad at me. I really don't know what to do. She pauses. Yui stares into the distance, tracing her eyes along the patterns of the floor tiles while she thinks to herself. What would you do? Hypothetically, your friends were happy for you instead of mad at you. Happy for what? Happy that your new club is making you happy. Well, that's just not a fair hypothetical. Natsuki says that, but with little confidence in her voice. I always told myself that I don't rely on the approval of others to be happy. I still feel that way, but I'm spending time with people who put me down whenever I don't have their approval. That's probably what's making me feel so confused. Because I'm filtering out of the things that should make me happy. So no matter what, it's like I have to be unhappy to be happy. It's making my head hurt. That must make it really difficult to feel comfortable with yourself. Being made to feel like you're wrong just for being the person you are? Yeah, that basically nails it on the head. No, this is why I actually quite like Natsuki quite a fair bit. Because, like, even though she's like, I know a lot of people wouldn't really be the first choice. But I understand her feelings very well. Though for me, I internalize it more like Yuri. I think if anything, these two are probably the closest to me. When it comes to what I experienced, what I've done. And hello Pika! Nice to see you once again. I hope you have been well. So yeah, when it comes to like these conflicting feelings, actually, I'm also different. Because even though I do have these feelings, I bury them. Now, I'll be absolutely honest with you guys. my feelings when it comes to like whether being hurt or anything like that, I have a tendency of just actually in that regard, I am like Nisuki. Huh. Go figure. Could be as fire as her, so people wouldn't be able to tell how I really feel inside. No, I get that. I do get that. Though that's me in the past. Like me now, I'm pretty much an open book. Like if you ask me how I'm feeling for the day or anything else, what's on my mind, what am I thinking, I'll tell you guys. Like it's like I don't really see the point of hiding it. Like yeah, this is how I'm feeling. This is what happened around in my life. This is my situation. Like there's no need to hide it. Of course, I always put on like a persona when it's like, okay, maybe we shouldn't get into the whole serious stuff. But hey, I share things. It really goes against everything I believe in, doesn't it? It goes against this kind of person I want to be. I'm fed up with it. I'm fed up with a lot of things. Nasuki presses her palms into her forehead and shakes her head. I know what's best for me, but I keep convincing myself out of it. It's so much easier to be comfortably unhappy than it is to do something so scary. To do what? Oh, I said, to do what? I think it's to be happy. You know. To end it. Ah, that too. I know that one. Yeah, I know those crossroads, and unfortunately, I feel like I am actually at one of those crossroads, and goes back again to one of my past relationships where, like, I dote on this person, I do, but like, it's a past relationship, an ex of mine, online ex, and we're not good for each other, I'll be absolutely honest. Because there was romance feelings before, and unfortunately we're just not getting what we want from the other person, despite the still lingering feelings, the romantic feelings. But we're just not getting what we want out of the other person, and it's kind of showing. So even though I made efforts to actually just like, oh, we can be friends, we can do this, we can do that, but like at the end of the day, it's like, it does play on your mind a bit. Like, it would be fine if like I knew there was like nothing going on, but at the same time it's like they express interest, but no matter what, it just leaves it more confusing. And I do feel like it has to stop. I don't think when it comes to me and this person, my ex, we can't be friends. It's gotten to that point where I kind of recognize that we're not good for each other. Because you're always going to have that lingering thought. You're always going to think this and that. I know it's hard choices. So my crossroad is simply this. Do better for myself. And as well as that, do better for her as well. She won't appreciate it, of course. We need to part ways. And not part ways as in breaking up or anything like that. Like, that's already happened. But I mean part ways as in we just can't see each other. Oh, yeah, there'll always be lingering thoughts. There'll always be lingering feelings. I already get that, Dominic. But like, when it comes to this particular moment of mine, is that like there's small things that the lack of conversation, the lack of responses, because it's online, communication for me is a big deal. I find that if you do not communicate with me, especially when you say you have interest in me, I think of a whole lot of different things. I feel like that something's going on in the background, that I'm not being taken seriously, I'm undervalued, or it's just that you have no interest and you're just stringing me along. And so it gets very confusing. And for her, I guess, based on her responses, like, it feels like that I'm distant, and that I've not really putting in the effort to, I don't know, it's like just trying for something. But I've done my very best. I'm not gonna go into the whole deep details of it all, but I've done my very best. And I just know that no matter what happens, there's always gonna be this feeling. and it will flare up every so often. Then we get upset with one another. Then we get sad. I feel guilty. But yeah, I just feel like that's it. I just don't know you enough. I don't know enough about your life. We don't talk enough. And yeah, it just has to end. Hate to say it, but not all things come to a good ending. Sometimes it just has to pass. And that's where I'm at. I just have to let it pass. If you confess, you are allowed to make one confession and stick with it, usually in some part here. Yeah. A long life. I reckon plastic, if you find yourself a proper person, a person that you can be with all your life and love wholeheartedly, a good ending is a long life to them. I guess that's why I kind of wanted as well. It's like just having someone there. So I didn't get that. You sentimental fool. You're gonna. Thank you for the bits. Nah, you'll find that I'm very true to myself. I'm honest. But yeah, I think that's also why I got into streaming, because here's the thing, like, for me, back in the past, I didn't really have a lot of friends. I'll put it this way. Didn't have a lot of friends. Grew up basically more like a nomad, moving around. Long story short of the matter is, I got into online. Like, actual online, like online gaming, and then you had like these people that were all talking in the social chat, and I just like, oh, what, this is nice, and I put something random in, people responded like, oh, I put something else in, and like people just continued to talk with you, and like, this was an entirely new experience for me. So I think what I naturally gravitate to is just bonding with people, so that's why I like streaming, because I'll get to share my experience. And I feel like people do appreciate that. That's why I even made friends. Pig is a friend of mine. Dominic's a friend of mine. Menace is a friend of mine. Like, you guys become my friends, and I appreciate that. Because you might not realize it. There's time when I just feel lonely. I do feel lonely. Even though a lot of people do tell me I'm a good person and I'm great to be around, it's just sometimes I just feel like sometimes I have that attachment. And also sometimes I also feel like I let people down. But that's that. Now, I'll tell you this as well. I don't regret any of it. If I didn't get online, if I didn't talk to these people, even though it went south quite a few times, I would probably just work myself to death. I would have been completely content on being alone. Because back when I was a kid, back before I actually started talking to people online and all that, I didn't interact with anyone. I was into my games. I did what I needed to do. I did my work, gone home. I didn't think anything more. I didn't want anything. It's like I had my computer. I watched my animes. I play my games. I was very content on being by myself. I didn't think anything of it because I didn't know what it was like to actually have people around me. And when I did finally found that out, I didn't realize just how absent it was. It's crazy. Anyways, I think that's enough with the sub stories. Let's move along. Let's try and get past this sentimental moment. No, just people that take an interest in you. Is what I meant. Not just IOL people. I meant people that took interest. Like, wanted to hear what you had to say. Like, wanted to know about your your hobbies, what you do, what you like, or where you wanted to go. I didn't have a lot of people that actually just wanted to know me. And that's what I meant by having people around me, is people that just want to spend time with me. So that's why I found out. It's like I just didn't have many people like that. I thought I was just a random person who broke and stayed in your house. Nah, all seriousness though, you're a top lad and an amazing bloke. Cockiness might get you killed, but it's always a laugh watching how you play games so differently compared to most people. Oh no, I'll play games differently, but also, you do realize, when it gets to moments like these, I can take it very seriously. Don't get me wrong on that. I am a chatterbox. I like to ramble. I like to do things in ways that it just expresses me. Very simple. But I can be serious too. I know how to be serious. How do I know this? I'm middle-aged, okay? I'm 30. I'm 31, actually. When you get to my age, you have to know how to take things seriously. But you also have to know how to laugh. Because life is not easy. Anyways, let's move this along. And I do agree with you, Spastic. It is growth. It's something that we all have to go through, and I call it stages of life. And we all go through these stages of life. Once you get to a certain stage in your life, you're like, ah, I see. It's really like a light bulb. But yes, let's continue on. With them? Natsuki nods. I didn't think you were actively considering that as an option. I wasn't until recently. It's just one of these things where, like, it's been a certain way for so long that you just get used to it. Like, so much of you has gone into it. So much that it feels like that's just how your life is. And throwing it away is like throwing away such a big part of your life. It makes me feel sick to think about it. Natsuki signs. And yeah, that's very relatable. It's just really scary. It's terrifying. What are you scared of? I don't know. A lot of things. Like being alone. Not having anyone to talk to or hang out with. Not being able to replace what I have with them. And I don't want them to hate me. And I'm scared they'll hurt me for going against them. Physically? Not physically! But... Yuri clenches her fists. Natsuki. What? If anyone ever thinks to cause you harm, I will unleash hell upon them. And yeah, it's a good version. Natsuki snorts in laughter. Don't laugh at me! Sorry, I was just... I like that. That's all. Oh. Well, I meant it. I know you did. Natsuki gives Yuri an endearing look. I needed it. As the conversation lapses, Natsuki again slides a box of cupcakes over to Yuri. Just take them, okay? I don't want other people to have them anymore. Are you sure? Natsuki nods. I'm sure. I will then. I'll enjoy them. Natsuki looks away, but a feeling of warmth spreads through her. She holds onto that feeling, knowing it would give her courage. That's sweet. That's super sweet. And yes, no, definitely Spastic, get this version. It's Doki-Doki Literature Club Plus. Has all the side stories, and it dives deeper into what each of the girls are. I'm telling you this now, the first story is gonna hit you hard. Ah, you're here first today. And you bought reading material. It's $15, I know. But you can see what you're missing out on. Or you can just watch my VODs. Natsuki is sitting in her usual spot, this time holding a volume of manga while her lunch sits beside her. And also there's no choices, it's just going from one story to the next. It's linear. Yuri sits down as well and opens her own book. It sucks when a good series has to come to an end. Like it's such a big part of your life and then one day there's just nothing left. It makes you feel so empty. Unfortunately, I'm about to experience that myself. I'm on the last book of this series. That sucks. But there's also something satisfying about letting a story conclude. I don't know if I want to go on forever. Maybe. But there are some things I wish could. On the other hand, have you ever read something that overstayed its welcome? Yeah, definitely. I've read so many things that overstayed its welcome. I can think of at least one thing I've read that got pretty unbearable like halfway through and the ending really sucked. So it sucks when something good has to end, and it also sucks when they just keep inventing more plot until you don't like it anymore. I guess it sucks either way. Well, that's the nature of all things. They come to an end. The two fall silent. They slowly eat while making their way through their respective reading material. Except Natsuki. Doesn't seem to be touching her food at all. You don't go out during the weekends, right? Excuse me? Like with friends? At the mall or downtown or whatever? I'm not a total shut-in, you know? Oh, my bad for making assumptions. Well, I'm sure I go out less often than other people, like you, and the others in the club. I don't really meet with friends, and I really spend time like that. I'm usually meeting with my board game group. Board game group? It doesn't matter, it's just more nerdy stuff. Is she into D&D? Why do you ask anyway? I was just curious. I just realized that I couldn't picture it, so I was just curious. Yuri looks at Natsuki and realizes that she's shaking. Don't look at me like that. Sorry. Natsuki pulls her knees into her chest and puts her head down. I can't take this. Did I do something? Yuri gets flustered, her mind racing over what she may have said or done. Now she wants to ask what you're doing for the weekend so she can ask if you want to hang out. I did. I ended it. Oh, okay, no, I am completely off the mark here, guys. I'm wrong. I'm totally wrong. Do not listen to me. I texted them earlier, telling them, and then I just blocked them because I'm so afraid of their responses. And now it feels like I'm dying inside. Oh, that's... I'm sorry. Totally unsure of what to do, Yuri can barely find any words of support to offer. Meanwhile, the sound of Natsuki unusually hard breathing fills the air. Then she speaks again, barely above her whisper. Help me. I feel sick and I want to hit my head against things. Please help, I can't take this. You may be having a panic attack. With that realization, Yuri's demeanor suddenly changes. I have experience with this, so I'll help you through it, okay? Natsuki meekly nods through a rapid breath, head still buried in her knees. Yuri slides herself over to Natsuki and sits on the step behind her. Then she puts her hands on Natsuki's shoulders. Can you feel my hands? Natsuki nods. Her shaking becomes much more apparent through Yuri's sense of touch. Yuri keeps her voice low and gentle. You're safe now, right now. You're in a good and safe place, where nothing can hurt you. Natsuki nods once more. Although Yuri is only touching Natsuki's shoulders, she can particularly feel her racing pulse through the base of her neck. We'll do a breathing exercise together. All you have to do is listen to my breaths and breathe along with me. Let's breathe in now. Yuri takes a deep, slow breath. beneath her hands, she feels Natsuki's shoulders rise as Natsuki takes a breath of her own, trying to mimic Yuri. They exhale together, although Natsuki's breath shakes on the way out. That's good. Let's keep going. Yuri breathes in once more, and Natsuki joins her. They continue like that for a few more cycles, while Yuri closely monitors. Eventually, Yuri feels Natsuki rest more of her weight into Yuri's palms. Let's focus on the physical well. All you have to do is focus on the feeling of your breath going in and out, and the weight of my hands on your shoulders. You're in a safe and comfortable physical space. Minutes pass in silence. By now, the worst of it has passed, but Yuri is determined not to move away until Natsuki prompts her to. Meanwhile, Natsuki has lifted her head off her knees and her breathing has mostly steadied. Then, she takes a final deep breath and slowly pulls herself to her feet, causing Yuri to let go. She stretches her arms. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to freak out. I don't know what my deal is. You don't have to apologize. This must be enormously stressful for you. Is that going to keep happening? It may, or it may not. We can take measures to help prevent it in the future. I think it will naturally get better over time. Natsuki motions to sit back down again so Yuri moves over. Yuri turns away to pick up her open book from the dusty floor, which she had hastily sit down earlier. She brushes the dust off the cover. I don't think I could have gotten through that alone. You're not alone. Feeling shy again, Yuri speaks into her own lap. From now on, you don't have to do anything alone. As she says that, Yuri tenses up. It's rare for her to so openly share her thoughts. Something about Natsuki, of all people, makes it feel as much more natural to do so. Perhaps because, like Yuri, Natsuki is so timid and uncertain of herself. Natsuki does such a good job at hiding it that it's taken a long time for you to finally realize it. And because of that... And hello, Mitbun. It's been a long time since I last seen you. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. Nice to see ya. Hello, Debbie. Hello. Wow, it's been a long time since I last seen ya. How you been? What were you streaming? And you caught me in a very delicate moment of saying something very sad. I see you were playing Overwatch 2. Very nice. Oh yes, how you been? It's been honestly, it's been a long time. Like, how many months? It's been. I'm actually quite surprised you actually are in here. But yes, nevertheless, welcome Raiders. I am Mowgli TMC, Friday streamer, playing a light novel game at the current moment because I am interested in Doki-Doki Literature Club. Very insane game, I'll tell you that much. You guys have to play it for yourselves. Yes, I see we're playing the scary game. It has been, yeah, I don't forget, but I am EP. No worries, mates. Well, look, if you need to take care of yourself, by all means, do you have a lovely sleep? Maybe get yourself some water, maybe a small snack. And all good. Mitz, you take care, and honestly, I should really come in more often. I have not been sociable, I'll be absolutely honest. I have not seen a lot of people. And also, thank you for the follow, I really do appreciate it. And also, same goes for everyone. Oh, why am I boxed? I hate being boxed! God damn it! But yes. To everyone else that is here as well. To your raiders, if you guys need to rest up, by all means, go get yourself a drink. Freshen up. Even take a bit of a break. And yes, welcome in. I hope you all do have a wonderful time. I am currently in the middle of finishing up this side story, which, yes, it's a bit of a tearjerker. We did have a bit of emotional feelings a little early on. Dominic, stay away from the tape, unless you're taping yourself to the wall, which then I'll get a kindness out later. It's all good, Devi, don't worry. It's just a bit like, We were just sharing our experience with what was being related here. And yes, oh yes, welcome in. Lovely to have you here. Emotional? I'm shrunk. Oh, come on. I'm not the emotional one. I was just bearing my heart out to people. But nevertheless, let's try and wrap this up, because I'm pretty sure we're near the end of the side story. And because of that, Yu is able to deliver the reassurance that she herself would have wanted, demonstrating that you deserve the love of others. If you can accept that for the first time, then perhaps you can begin the how do you say that word? Elongated word journey of learning to love yourself. Hey, it's the title job. No, I did not have this. Fine, I'll say it. The Termatose journey. Is that how you say it? Yay, I did it. I did sit. I did sit. Yay. Do you really mean that? You're probably gonna regret saying that if you do. How so? Because I'm probably gonna have a lot of free time during the weekends from now on. So you're giving me permission to be as annoying as I want and drag you around to a lot of places. I see. But you already said it, so you can't take it back now. I'll let this go. Ah, well, I suppose I have no choice but to accept that responsibility then. Okay, Dominic getting me confused. I am no longer entertaining that thought. That's a word that no longer exists in this world. I'm letting you all know it doesn't exist. Burn it from the dictionary. And this is sweet. I know a good ice cream place. Oh? That means you finally figured out my favorite ice cream flavor? Huh? Why are you talking? It's probably green tea. Let's be absolutely honest. More than likely green tea. Oh, you don't remember? The first day that you came to the club, you guessed everyone's favorite ice cream color. But for me, you said you had no idea. Seriously? I don't remember that at all. I remember! I remember! Wait. Yes, I do. I said it was probably green tea. Yuri shakes her head. It's a good guess, but my favorite is usually to get chocolate and raspberry together. That's a unique combination, which again, guys, what is your favorite ice cream flavor? My favorite ice cream flavor is cookies and cream, salted caramel, and vanilla when you can have whatever toppings you want. And not all together, they're all completely separate categories. Chocolate, always chocolate. Okay, double chocolate for you. Definitely. Vanilla, Earl Grey, matcha. Ah, fair enough. Mint, choc chip, or brownie. Okay, so guys, we're giving Dominic green tea. Oreos. And hello, baby llama. Nice to see you once again. I hope you are having a wonderful time. And yes, we are just getting to the end of Doki-Doki Literature Club. Yes, hey, nice to see you. How's everyone been? Which, are you still playing TCM? Or Dead by Daylight, or something else? But yeah, I like vanilla, I like cookies and cream, and I like salted caramel. Those are pretty much my top faves. And the reason why I like vanilla is because I can put whatever toppings I want, and that is the magic of vanilla. Absolutely. If anyone says that vanilla is not a good ice cream, I will throw fisticuffs. These hands will be flying. I'm kidding. Oh wow, Llama, you are killing yourself with the killer games. I'm telling you, vanilla is underrated. It absolutely is. The reason why I say vanilla is so good is because it can transform into whatever it wants. That's vanilla. Oh yes, moving on. Chocolate and raspberry? How fancy. How is that fancy? I don't know. I feel like I should have guessed something like that. Well, maybe next time I'll try chocolate and strawberry. Hey, strawberry is my favorite. What a coincidence. I think it helps to have something to look forward to. I still have the sick feeling in my stomach, but it's easier now to convince myself that I did the right thing. Is there anything better I could be doing? Not that I know of. There's nothing that would make this easy for me. And you already did more than I thought anyone could. And yes, I know, Llama, you definitely love your asymmetrical games. Except Killer Clowns. I know you're not into Killer Clowns. That was a bit of a flop, not gonna lie. And no worries, Devi, and you have a wonderful time. And oh, emotes! I have not done emotes in a long time. I've been too busy with 3D. It's doing my head in. But no, I bet you do some lovely works. Which, wishing you the best. Good luck with it. Knew it, Llama. You did not like it. Time to think of it. We never talked about the letter you wrote. But I feel like we're way past that at this point. I don't even know what to talk about. Except that I think it helped me understand my needs a little bit better. For yourself. Ah, lovely. No, I made so many emotes for myself. It's not bad at all. Which this tells me you're a streamer yourself, maybe, possibly. Ah, you are. I'm gonna save your tab over here so I can check you out later. Don't mind me. I have a bit of a sticky beak. Like, once I learn you'd stream, I have to check you out. No, I'm not. Oh, I don't know. It seems like you were on yesterday. I'm going to invade your stream later on. Trust me, I'm coming in there. Unless, of course, you don't want me there. You don't want me to come? Well then, I didn't know about that. No, I'm coming in. I'm letting you know now. Alright, anyways. The way I like to be treated, and the kinds of friends that I want to have. That's why I wanted to start coming here in the first place, even though I was so scared of causing more problems. I thought it was a coincidence that you ran into me here initially. Oh, well, not exactly. And no worries, Devi. Well then, I will help myself to your channel. I'm gonna be reading about your about page. That you are indeed a wannabe chill feed YouTuber. Don't worry, I'm not gonna read everything out. But yeah, I will drop in. Llama! Reload! What do you mean? Nothing. I may have tracked you down first, with the help of Sayori. But you said I was shy, okay? I wasn't ready to whatever. You know what I'm saying? Well, I guess I'm glad that you worked up the courage, even if it was in your own way. I can tell that you've been making a lot of difficult decisions. It's brave, and will make things better in the long run. I think anyone will be proud of you for it. Anyone? No, I think so. You mean, like, you? Yes, like me. You know, I could get used to this. As long as you don't tease me too much. Fine? Just a little. Then. They're sweet together, aren't they? Which be tweaking sometimes, it do be freezing sometimes randomly. I know, it does it to me sometimes, and I get frustrated over it. Which, by the way, I'm letting you know now, Devi, I'm just looking at your page again. I like your hairstyle. I like the little highlights you have. They look very nice. Which do your own mods, I need to check that out. But I need to finish this game as well. I know how uncertain everything feels to you right now. I really do think that good things are in store. Those are my honest feelings. Thanks. It feels nice to be reassured. The two girls continue their conversation through the remainder of lunch, but a new feeling hangs in the air, a feeling of greater certainty in their path forward. In just a few hours, there will be another literature club meeting, where the 4 club members will happily spend time together. Each of them, all with their own special qualities, have something unique that they can deliver to one another. Through friendship and literature, the club members will continue to grow and find new happiness together. The end of each chapter is the start of the next. Yui thinks to herself. Since she's about to finish her long-running series, it would be best to have a new book lined up. Perhaps this weekend would be a good time to visit the bookstore. Together. Aww. That's so sweet. That's so sweet. That is sickening. That is sickeningly sweet. I don't know, it feels like the girls are getting very close to one another. Like, it makes you feel like this is an entirely different game. I feel like especially this moment here. Like here, you actually feel like, okay, something's happening here. What's going on? What's going on here? Now we have this. They're way too cute with one another. All of them. Why? Monica's the best? You think so? Okay. What's this? I got new mail. Staying focused on our goals. As a reminder to help guide our data collection, any analysis performed should be focused on answering some of these main questions. How does granting elevated access to the VM affect a person's emotional state? How does granting elevated access to the VM affect a person's values and goals? How does someone effectively navigate and expand with their ability to change the content of their VM? How is elevated access being weaponized? What actions and value must contribute to the destruction of the universe? Most importantly, how much your observation apply to our own universe? Bonus, how can we present this to upper management as an operation that benefits the company? Unrelated note, whoever changed the color scheme of the desktop to pink, can you please change it back? It's unprofessional and it turns the risk of drawing eyes. No, I don't mind pink. I like pink. So yeah, hold on, we have one more story. Hold on a second. Guys, we have one last story here. This is not the end of the DLC. This wasn't here before. Equals. And that's for another day? Oh, come on. I'm curious. I could do it. Not debate? What debate? I'm just saying though, it feels like it's a conclusion. I don't think. How long is that last chapter? I could 3 hours already. I mean, yes, I know. It's the final countdown. God damn it! In this case, it's final chapter. But no, honestly, once we actually reach the 3 hour mark, I do fade off, and you can already tell that my speech is starting to get a little hazy. So yeah, we might save that for another time. And we'll finish this off with a bang next week. Because honestly, this has been a very good DLC. I actually quite enjoy it. And also, I have gone out of my way. Let them kiss? Nah, they're not gonna kiss. No one kisses in this. I've hung out with you longer than 3 hours. I'm aware. Yeah, I know. I get so. Illegal. But anyways, thank you all for coming out here. I really do appreciate it. And if anyone wants to, exactly, you can't put the emotion you want into the character. I know. My voice acting started to fade off near the end. I know this. And I feel like if we are gonna do this properly, we gotta do it, like, justify it. We'll do it when we're fresh. Then afterwards, we'll probably play some TCM. I just woke up. Oh, I know. You were looking forward to it too. Well, I'm gonna be in the VC. So if you want to hang out for a little bit, you can. And I might play some TCM with you later on as well. But nevertheless, let's get some music on. Let's go with this one. So yeah, it has been a bit of a roller coaster. I will admit that. Like approaching that end part of self-love. Yeah, it's. I hate to say it, but I have to make some decisions in life. For those who were there earlier, you already know what I'm talking about. and it has to be done. I will have to go ahead and deal with this properly. But otherwise, the side stories that we've been having, the reflection, the self-love, that was great. It shows a lot more into the characters of who they are, what their values are, and honestly, it just makes you love all the girls all the more. Compared to actually the DDLC, are those spoilers? I'm enjoying this. I mean, I don't think so. We're leaking stuff? I don't know. We're not doing that. But yeah, Slama. I like to do a bit of self-loving, okay? It's a thing of mine. I like self-love. Even though I avoid it like a plague. But nevertheless, I have enjoyed myself. This game is awesome. If you have not played this game, I implore you to go ahead, get the game. It's great fun. Of course, Spastic. Of course, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We'll later cry ourselves to sleep in the pillow. But no, this has been great. It has been great. I have enjoyed this immensely. What do you mean I'm licking stuff? I'm not doing that, Dominic. I'm not that far gone, I think, possibly. I mean, I can lick things if that really comes down to it. But nevertheless, this has been a very fun experience. I have really enjoyed this. The DLC just adds way more to the girls. And compared to the base game as well, it's like it just really gives a different light. Look, I'm just saying. Every now and again, leaks happens. Nothing sus about it. It's a natural phenomenon. I think Yui got bigger here. Yeah, I say Yui got quite a bit of the spotlight. Like, you didn't really get a whole lot of attention to her. Like, we see more in depth with these girls, especially Natsuki and Yui. I feel like it really puts them up there. And we also learn more about Monica, how she was before she, you know, things went strange. But anyways, nevertheless, we're finishing up. And I think we can either go for two possible people. We can go with, I'm looking at this now, we can go with Saint Carrots with Call of the Lamb, or we can go with Panda Perfect with 7 Days to Die. What are you talking about here? Spastic, why are your eyes? Divert your eyes! Believe in the holy book! Streamer's choice. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, you know what? We also got Kingdom Hearts by Weeble the Clown as well. But yeah, we'll go with Saints Carrots or Panda Perfect. We'll get them another time. So we're gonna go for... Let's go with Saints Carrots. I haven't seen them in a while. Yeah, we bought the clown. Don't worry about him. We get to him another time. I have a nice cup of joe. I like cup of joes. Invalid username. Oh no, I spelled the name wrong. But yeah, before I actually do commence this... Before I actually do fully commit to the raid, guys, is there anything you'd like to actually talk about anything that has come to pass, or you guys want to talk about anything at all? If not, I suggest you hold your breath, because we're about to go and see a lovely new person. Well, you probably haven't seen him, but I have. Can we talk about our feelings? What kind of feelings? What feelings are we talking about here? Am I talking about what's within my heart, or somewhere else? I can feel things up. You're feeling hungry. Ah, yes, I too feel the hunger. I feel this unquenchable hunger of wanting to eat noodles. I don't know why. I have this cravings for noodles now. Alright, but nevertheless, thank you all for coming out here. I hope you all did enjoy yourselves. It is one of them slower games, and I don't know. I immensely enjoyed myself. But I will be in the VC. Trust me, I will be there. If you guys want to hang out, come hang out. I'm there for a while. I might go with Llama at some stage to play TCM, because we actually both enjoy that game a lot. But otherwise, yeah, you all have a wonderful time. And also, Mitzban, thank you for the raid. I will definitely swing by your stream when I get the chance to. Sorry that it's been a long time since I last seen ya. And without any further ado, I am MokiTeamC signing out. You all take care, stay safe, and have a wonderful time. Bye bye. Bye now. Seriously, get out of my stream. I'm kidding. Bye.